freaky.
So we're not ruling out the idea that this could be a other
Demiplane?
reality that
Wait,
only
how did I
exists when
send
you
you
need it to.
an invite to your own server?
I don't know.
What just happened?
I don't
Did I do
know.
it on
It's
my...
great. I mean,
Oh,
it's
is it
so
the
strange.
Is it the blackjack and hookers?
The best
Gotcha.
server ever.
Okay, it doesn't even show me having
think-
sent it on my phone, which means it would have had to been sent over the computer. But I can't just magically send an invite over the computer with no...
Yeah. When you get an
There's-
opportunity, send me another invite, because I think I may have accidentally left it. I did a purge of, like, tons of servers.
I have my own server with blackjack and hookers.
May I join the blackjack and hookers server?
Yes. all are in welcomed in blackjack and hookers. It's kind of my it's become weirdly enough like a median space for like, you know how you might have like friends on different closed servers but you don't want to invite them to the same server that's like I am in a closed server with this person and I'm in a closed server with this person, but I don't want to invite them to those separate closed servers. It's become the median server in between, as well as the I'm in a closed server and I want this person to join, but we need to like introduce them to everybody first. And that's the other purpose, Grandpa. You know, I really should name this server Grandpa's Cheese Barn Fan Club, but
Yeah.
but
Considering
I
you
just
just
like
talked
to-
for the better part of like 10 minutes about it and the lore.
Well, it's because in my other friend group, it's become a meme that every time they're like, they shit on how bad, because there's another Ohioan in my one server I'm in, and he hates Ohio. But mind you, he spent a portion of his childhood in East Cleveland, so he gets that, he earns that. But then I have to explain to the rest of the country that Ohio is not a barren hellscape, so I have to defend Ohio. But inevitably I bring up Grandpa's Cheese Barn as a plus in the plus column, and it's become a meme that everyone thinks that I secretly wish to become the first double grandma. I'm not unconvinced there's not like a witch cult going on in there, because again, looking through their back at their history line, every grandpa has married into the Grandpa's Cheese Barn. They haven't had any sons. They've only had daughters.
Huh.
Can you guys do me a favor real quick and just check and make sure the Twitch stream's up and running? Because I
No.
clicked on start streaming, but it's not increasing the time that it's been up and running. I just wanna
You're
make sure-
you're live.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
Works for me.
This spring is sponsored by Grandpa's Cheese Hut.
Grandpa's
Barn.
cheese. Yeah, right. We got to pick like one company, random ass company, like a session. Last time it was Liquid Death, who I actually reached out to on Twitter, and they haven't responded to me, which is really aggravating. But I guess this one's Grandpa's Cheese Barn. So if anybody wants to hashtag at them, I'm sure they would be supremely
Oh, I'm-
interested in knowing that a Monster Hunter tabletop group has decided to take an interest in their product.
A Monster Hunt
Products. They have many
tabletop
delightful
group has
products and
decided to
services.
become hashtag sellouts.
Look, I will sell out to Grandpa's Cheese Barn. I will sell my firstborn child to Grandpa's Cheese Barn, especially depending on the
Don't-
cheese I'm getting.
See, no, that's a legally binding contract now. You can't be saying that.
Only if you
Yeah,
could say
sponsors.
Grandpa's Cheese
Verbal
Barn 10
contact
times
doesn't-
fast without stumbling. Can you get out of that contract?
To be honest,
Also,
I mean,
Sarge, real
like,
quick, I want to thank you for the Grunkle Stan future me thing. Because
You could pull it off. If there's anybody that I know that could possibly pull that off, it would be you, for sure.
yes, when Bob After Dark doesn't get me anywhere and I go through hard times in my life, I'm gonna open up a hokey paranormal tourist trap for everybody to come and visit, and you could give me money to look at a glass eyeball that I found in the street.
you know, I actually would pay for that, to be frankly honest.
Have you seen House of a Thousand Corpses?
Yes, unfortunately.
Well, one, I'm sorry that you hated it, and that makes me sad.
Yeah.
But two, I imagine it being like the gas station at the beginning.
Yes,
You little like hokey little roller coaster ride through it.
yes. That's my retirement plan.
Oh my god, you just
to become
fucking.
Captain Spaulding.
You could probably buy the It's a Small World ride when it eventually breaks down and have that as your little windy through.
To be
Yep.
honest, I'm down for that. Though my old
It's a
person goals are
weird
just to be
world
like,
after all.
I'm just saying that you don't need to do that. All you need to do is make a model replica of the boat from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate
Oh
Factory.
my god.
Make all the lights, and it's the most terrifying thing in the world.
Very true.
Fun fact, did you know during that scene, and this is off topic, but during that scene, they actually didn't tell the children that Gene Wilder was going to go batshit.
Yeah,
So the fear on their faces during that
it
scene
was real.
is all legitimate, true fear.
Mm-hmm.
This is my favorite thing, because if you did that nowadays, people would be like, child endangerment. But they were like, nah, it's fine.
Back then, they're like. Also,
Back
would you
then,
like to hear a
fucking,
weird
what's his name? Stanley Kubrick fucking tortured actors, like, in order to get
Only
legitimate...
Shelley Duvall.
Oh,
Only
yeah,
Shelley
okay,
Duvall.
alright.
He only tortured one.
Yeah,
And,
actually, the little kid from The Shining didn't know what movie he was in.
Yeah, he had
Like,
no
he
idea.
didn't know he was in a horror film. They just did a lot of editing and stuff. For as far as he was concerned, he played with some nice little twin girls in a hotel for
And
a
had to
couple
say
weeks.
some weird word once or twice.
Yeah, yeah.
Red rum.
Okay, so we have had a good catch-up session, I believe. But we do need to, at some point, play the game. So I think we're going to do that
Can I
now.
interrupt?
What's up?
Can I interrupt? Okay, just back to Grandpa's Cheese Hut real quick.
Oh my god.
It's only going to take me 1
I
second.
have heard enough about
No.
Grandpa's
This
cheese
is-
barn for the rest of my life.
This is a great parallel to go full circle. So you know how we were talking about Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, right? Or Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah.
Would you like to know what happened to the actor who played Charlie Buckets in that film?
The older gentleman?
The Charlie Buckets,
The kid.
the kid.
Oh. Yeah. What's
He
up?
grew up to be a Wisconsin dairy farmer. And maybe they sell cheese to Grandpa's Cheese Hut.
Well, there you
That's
go.
actually
Full
entirely
circle.
possible. They have a couple Wisconsin brands, though the Ohio cheddar is far superior and more award-winning.
Ooh. Ohio doesn't have
Ooh.
shit for it.
No, actually, we actually, like, legitimately, Ohio cheddar is, like, world-class. Like, it's weirdly enough something that Ohio does really well and, like, super, like, world-renowned as, like, some of our cheeses, especially up by Amish country. We're artisanal.
Artisanal.
Oh, hey, Sergeant,
That's because you
shit.
can't figure out how to work computers.
tonight's session.
What's up, Bob?
Are we fighting Grandpa on tonight's session?
I
Did he
mean,
come
with
to
the
Vegas?
amount of time we've already dedicated to it, I'm almost disappointed if we don't.
Honestly, at this point, I'm thinking that I could do a really awesome, like, witch coven sacrifice cheese cult one-shot for iHunt that is just
Oh,
iHunty
man.
enough.
I love that idea. Just a fucking coven of, like, Midwestern witches.
Like,
Why did you get
roadside
the
attraction
Iahnoot
would be
there?
Such an easy way to prey on people, because only the stupid and so many people go missing during traveling. Like, and you only really stop at roadside attractions when you've got hours between where you've left and where you've arrived at your destination, which makes it really difficult if you go missing along that track to actually, like, nail down your route or the swath where you're at. And nobody's going to check the roadside. No one's going to check the giant rubber band ball to see if there's human corpses in the middle.
No, I paid them off not to check me out.
Hi, I'll write that later.
Oh, man.
Nobody
That's...
an extra
All right,
burial or two at the Alamo. We'll be fine.
so
Clear him at the basement, the Alamo.
we are transitioning to game time now. As entertaining as this is. So it's been about 2 weeks since your guys' last encounter has died down. You managed to get Ichtar, I think her name was. Hold on. Yeah, you managed to get Izzy into the hands of the Sisterhood of the Dark Sun, which is surprisingly charming considering the name. They were all absolutely ecstatic to meet her and to help get her involved with the family and the coven. And you've received like one update since. Jack, actually, you got a text from her that says, "Hey, things are going super well here. Thanks for, bringing me up here and let everybody else know." So, as far as you can tell, all's well that ends well in this particular case. You did get your, unfortunately, meager payment. You did know that it was, I think it was, what, $300 or $3,000 between all of you, something like that. It was not enough to cover a lot, but at the same point, you didn't actually have to actually fight anything, so, bonus.
It covered the gas in the ice cream, so.
Pretty much. And you earned a little bit of favor with the local coven, which is never a bad thing. That being said, you guys have about 2 weeks between then and now. What have your characters been doing?
Depends. Is there actually an election season going on in this game? Because
I would like to pretend not, but it is important enough that probably yes.
I have been practicing my Spanish.
Taylor.
Okay, no,
Jenny's
let's
in
elaborate
her-
on that. I like that. Why is he practicing Spanish?
It's important to have cultural knowledge. For
Okay.
my, just gotta make sure I can understand everybody.
How is he going about doing that?
I've been watching this great channel called Telemundo.
Okay, good immersion. So for the last 2 weeks, has Brian been kind of dominating the living room with Telemundo?
Yeah.
How does everybody else feel about this? There's been Spanish TV going pretty much 24/7 for the last 2 weeks.
The first 3 days it was with, and then it was, and then it was by the end of it, it was like, that bitch. How could she betray him?
Porque Maria, that bitch.
Or like me when I was watching Brazilian TV and didn't know what was going on, but it was kids show, so I kind of suss out the plot and go, oh no, will they figure out how to deal with I think that's ice. God, I hope that's ice.
That looks like vanilla frosting, but I can't be sure.
I feel like by the end of this, we're all just like begrudgingly on the couch watching this too. Just like, yeah, okay, sure.
Popcorn and watch night, just like.
You know what? That's a pretty good bonding time, actually. I like that. So everybody's a little irritated at first because, the new season of The Boys dropped, and somebody's gonna want to watch that. But yeah, I guess you could watch it on your phone. It's okay that he's on the TV, and then week 2 comes around, everybody's like on the couch with blankets and stuff.
Okay, but like off topic, season 2 of The Boys.
Mm-hmm. I've gotten through most of it. I still got to watch the last couple episodes.
So I gotta start. You need to finish so I can start sending you memes.
Yep. So Brian, how else are you trying to learn it? You had some immersion therapy with Telemundo. Have you reached out to anybody to help teach?
I bought a dictionary.
You bought a dictionary.
Spanish dictionary.
Okay, and you're just flipping through it from front to back?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That sounds a very Clarence way of handling things.
Exactly. All of the technical knowledge and none of the real knowledge.
Yeah, it's like, well, this has a bunch of words in it, so I'll just read this. No, that's not, Clarence, that's not how this works. You can't learn Spanish out of a dictionary. Next week, he's speaking fucking perfect Spanish, goes, he did it, holy shit.
Yeah.
Even have the conjugations correct, which makes no sense whatsoever.
Nope. Okay, so Brian, so Clarence is working on his Spanish. What else? What are you guys doing? What have you been doing and up to for the last couple weeks? Even if it's just like one kind of event that you kind of focused on.
Max has been phone banking. Like, it is the only thing keeping them going. It's a little bit the only thing keeping them going. They do spin fire on the weekends still, but like, just yelling at people on the phone to go fucking vote.
Has anybody considered soundproofing Max's room yet?
So
Okay.
there's like a lot of when you're setting up a new set or stage, there's always a lot of packing material, and some of that'll be like foam for the electronics. Any foam that was going to be thrown away has been slowly and mysteriously finding itself like double Scotch tape, not in a way that'll peel the paint off, like the painter's tape helps.
Yeah.
Just slowly lining the interior of the room until mysteriously at all hours, because obviously Jenny doesn't sleep. It'll just be like wake up and another half of the room is like expertly lined out. Like, it's really neat.
Yeah.
And never
Just
Kind of like that.
yeah, like that.
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, just slowly but surely.
Okay, so
When-
Max has been phone banking. How are they feeling about that? Has that left them fairly grouse recently? Because phone banking is not easy.
Yeah, no, it's not. They're just a giant ball of tension, even more than they already normally would have been. Just trying to not think about anything too hard and just, this is the goal. This is the one goal. This is the only thing we can focus on. Everything is terrible, and we can't think about it.
All right. So we have a slight mental crisis going on in one room that's related to phone banking. We have Clarence taking up the couch and TV, trying to learn Spanish for cultural reasons. Jack, what's he been up to?
Well, Jack got a residency gig for a couple weeks and has been working at a very interesting place.
Okay, do tell.
It's a karaoke bar.
Okay. No, that sounds perfect.
Well, a karaoke bar, and Jack has picked up karaoke singing as a side hobby. Off duty from doing magic.
So I feel like the question is he good at it?
That's for me to know and for you to find out.
What do the other roommates think about? Does he practice at home?
Más como creo que gritando.
Oh my god. So I would like to actually compel you on that one, if at all possible. And I think that for you specifically, Jack, you saw on TV, the only thing that you know about karaoke bars is that they're really popular in Asian countries. And you've seen it on TV a whole bunch. So I think when you say karaoke bar, I think you've gotten really good at singing Korean, not English. You have no idea what any of the songs mean, but after, a couple weeks of consistently having to sing through it, you kind of start getting the gist of how the songs go.
It also helps that Jack has convinced half the patrons that he is David Copperfield.
Oh my god, even better. Okay, yep, so you now work at a kitschy, quote unquote, at a kitschy Korean karaoke bar and do magic on the side while you're there. Okay. So, Jenny, what has Jenny put up to?
So early polling sites will pay you, actually, and polling sites will actually pay you to be a poll worker. So when Jenny isn't doing gigs for, setting up stage and doing stuff like that, backstage work, she's been working at the poll locations, and due to the Spanish and the karaoke, she's found the best place to take a nap when she gets home is actually Max's phone bank screaming.
Oh my god.
So has been bringing home the normal requisite, be it extreme amount of coffee or alcohol, and just banging, not even asking anymore, just opens the door and walks in at this point, drops the bag of donuts on Max's desk, and just passes out in the room.
Yes!
I feel it.
Okay.
My dad said my mom was a poll worker too.
Oh, Clarence, you sweet summer child. Okay, so it's been a fairly interesting 2 weeks for you guys then, so far. Okay. So for each of you, we'll start from the top of my screen downward. Bob.
Yes.
Jack has actually received, at one point during this week, he received an invitation to the, what was it called? That magic shop. I'm sorry, I should have prepared this one better, but...
Oh, boy.
Yeah. He actually, you have a call on your phone from the proprietor himself, asking you to swing by when you got a chance.
Yes. I'm trying to think of the name of it.
Yep, I'm very much scrolling back up through the Discord conversation to see if I can find it.
Yes. Henry's. Harry's?
Yep.
Henry's or Harry's?
I think that was it.
Les De los Vaqueros.
Yep, Harry's Magic Emporium. So Harry, the rotund, bearded, bald man, who is
The happy
very
Harry.
jolly in the front, but in the back, sorcerer only area is not as kind. Has actually invited you to come back to the sorcerer's area.
Mm.
You also wonder how he got your phone number.
I wouldn't. I mean, you know how many cards he's handed around the town?
I can just
I'm pretty
imagine
sure at this
like
point you're stapling him to street signs, like, please!
You
I got-
know, more
Buddy,
contagious than
we,
Corona is Jack's business card.
You know, Clarence, when it comes time for you to start speaking at quinceañeras, you let them know I know that Donde está el Magico.
press
Siento,
dos
no hablo
for
inglés.
español. Okay,
Hey,
let's
baby,
see.
finger guns are international in every language, all right?
You're
So-
doing a banger job.
So, do you swing by? When do you feel like you would have time to go do that?
After residency one night, I could easily go and do that.
Okay. So you swing by. Harry's is a wonderful magical place in a almost a literal meaning. Completely, it's an old converted warehouse that has been stocked up with all kinds of magical performing gear, backstage stuff. Like, this guy is pretty much the go-to in Hollywood, the go-to in Las Vegas for any type of magical shows or magical or illusionist style stuff. He has actually directly behind the front counter, he has a picture of him and David Copperfield shaking hands, and the mind freak doing his weird hand thing and shaking hands with Harry. But there's a small staff only door that's right next to it, and as you guys kind of as you go through, because you're of a magical nature, it's basically like a small lounge area. It's not massive. There's room for about 6 or 7 tables. There's a small bar that looks like it was kind of salvaged out of somebody's basement. Looks nice, but it's very kind of out of place in a warehouse setting. Couple couches, really nice looking, couple very old looking bar stool style tables, and Harry himself is behind the counter, and there's 1 or 2 other sorcerers that are magic users that are kind of sitting and chilling, just nursing their beers. They kind of keep into themselves, and Harry looks up at you as he comes in. Oh, hey, it's you,
Harry.
Jack. Thanks for coming by.
Oh, thanks for having me, pal. Anytime.
I just why don't you come in the back real quick? And he kind of motions toward where the beers and stuff are normally stored. He doesn't really ask many people back there. You haven't seen it personally.
Sounds like a murder to me.
Well, Harry, I can't say no to a back room. Well, let's see.
So Harry just kind of looks at you for a moment and, okay. And, like, just that grunt of, I acknowledge that this may be a lewd thing, but I also acknowledge that you're kind of an idiot, so I'm going to let this one slide. And just, kind of guides you back, shuts the door behind you. It's basically a cramped storage room. You're not really sure where he keeps everything that he serves, because he's constantly coming back here to pull more stuff out. You're guessing that there's probably some sort of enchantment in here, but as he closes the door behind you, flicks on the switch above you, and a single light bulb turns on, and he gets real close, and he's like, I don't normally do this, but I wanted you to know that your name's been coming up a lot. I'm not sure why. I can't really tell who it's been from, but there's a lot of stuff going around. And I'm just touching base with you because you're new. You might be making some waves. whatever you're doing, you might want to lay low for a bit. And I'm not talking like your professional career.
I see. Well, you see, Harry, I gotta pay the bills somehow, and unless you're hiring, I gotta keep doing what I'm doing.
Just a professional courtesy.
No, I get it. I appreciate it.
I will, if I hear anything else more detailed, I'll let you know.
Jack reaches into his coat and hands a slight business card over. You know, for the Christmas party this year, Harry.
Oh my fucking god.
Jack, I have 6 of those in the Rolodex right now, and that's only because I haven't bothered to clean the rest of them out.
Oh. For the Yule party this year, buddy.
Get out of the closet, Jack.
Okay. So he
Yeah?
gets really close to Jack and goes, I don't normally do this. I thought this was going in a way that is not acceptable for Twitch.
You're gonna get me fucking demonetized.
No, I thought you were doing that to yourself.
My brain didn't jump there. My brain jumped that he was gonna give a job or money, but I prefer the warning.
He doesn't talk much more to you past that. As soon as you walk out of the closet and continue, he's back to business as usual. He's very curt, very gruff. Not exactly a warm personality, but like comforting in the fact that he's always seems to be the same level of gruff to everybody. So the fact that he kind of went out of his way is a mild bit concerning.
Great.
Do you tell everybody else this?
That's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you just described John Wayne as a magic shop owner.
Do you have a bad shoulder?
Oh,
You know what?
God. I love you all. I hate you all.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Hero complex. Might as well keep my dangers to myself.
Okay. Yeah, that's definitely playing into your character for sure. Are you going to compel yourself for that?
Yeah, I'll compel myself for that.
Okay. I definitely think that's going to create complications for sure. So, yeah, go ahead and take a fate point for that. Clarence.
Yeah.
You have had a coworker of yours reach out recently. He has heard that you're trying to learn Spanish, and has offered to help give you some extra if you could help him out.
Gotcha.
He just
Extra what?
he needs a ride.
Oh, okay.
That's it. Not going to ask him where or what.
No.
Okay. So
He has gas money. I send him anywhere.
all right. Yeah. No. He says. So he gives you the gas money. He's got like $10. You go and pick him up in Enterprise. Going to the map.
Gotcha.
So up here in, I'm sorry, not Enterprise. Up here in, wow. Okay, there we go. Up in Sunrise. He actually lives fairly close to Nellis Air Force Base. Like you can see the fence across, the couple apartment complexes.
Yeah.
And he hops in. He's, oh, hey man, thanks for giving me a ride out. I really appreciate it. He's a scrawny Hispanic kid. Really, really wispy, like pencil thin mustache that's like barely growing in. He's young, you know that much. You don't. He's looking at going to classes in Paradise at some point at the U of NV.
Yeah.
But he's been struggling to try to get the money together because his whole family is fairly poor, and this warehouse job that he shares with you is the best he's been able to get so far.
Yeah.
So, Julio looks over at you. His name's Julio, and basically says, "Okay, you're you got GPS, right, to show you how to use it?"
No.
No. Okay. All right. I'll take care of it then. And he puts in an address into his phone, and it pops up in West Las Vegas, which is traditionally, not even traditionally, it's the poorest area of Las Vegas. It is almost completely destitute. You guys had to go there, I think, for ItStar.
Mm-hmm. That was North Spring Valley that we were. I don't think we ever made it to West Las Vegas.
Oh yeah, yep. You had you're on kind of the cusp. Yep, that's right. So yeah, no, this is like central West Las Vegas, right in the middle of it.
Okay.
Okay. Any qualms or anything? You just gonna go?
No. Yeah.
Okay. Julio seems rather fidgety.
Okay.
As you guys are driving, but he doesn't really talk a whole lot except to give directions. And as you keep rolling, there's condemned buildings everywhere around you. There's houses with plywood up above the boards. There's one or two that have been set on fire and are basically charred husks. There's one that has a big old biohazard sticker on it, warning to keep away. And every so often there's a livable house. The address he sends you to, and as you pull up to it, is one of those boarded up houses. And he goes, okay, just wait here. If anything happens, just go. All right.
Yeah.
So he gets out, and you realize for the first time as he kind of hikes up his pants, there is a bulge in the back of his jeans. Yep. Under his shirt. And he kind of like unconsciously, double checks it and starts walking up to the house. Kind of bangs on the plywood a little bit, and it opens like a normal door. And there is a gentleman with a circular crescent tattoo that comes around the top of his eye. You can't really see it from here too well, other than the fact that it's big crescent moon tattoo that covers up a good hunk of his face. But in the shadow, you can't make out any detail. And there seems to be kind of a back and forth. And then he walks in.
Cool.
There's a couple of people peeking out of windows at you.
Okay.
White boy in the truck.
Yeah.
But it doesn't seem like
I mean, at this point, I'm probably just reading my dictionary. Chilling.
And so after about 15-20 minutes, Julio comes back out.
Okay.
And he seems a lot less fidgety than he was before. Mm-hmm. He's got a big smile on his face, kind of strolling, And as he pops in, he hands you another $20 bill. And says, all right, let's get back to Sunrise.
Bet.
So as you go, he's, again, distinctly less twitchy. He's still not talking, but he's humming something that you think you recognize from Telemundo. You can't quite place it, but it's familiar. And then you pull up in Sunrise to his apartment.
Yeah. Drop him off.
Mm-hmm.
And I head back home.
Okay. He is immensely thankful.
It's no problem, man.
So, yeah. So that's your little adventure.
Mm-hmm.
Jenny, you have been setting up a magic show, big magic show in one of the off-strip casinos, which requires a bit more detail work than you thought originally. IATSE definitely, they've kind of put you in charge of the other like stage or not. Oh God, what are they called? Stage hands. Thank you. They've kind of put you in charge of the other stage hands, which thankfully comes at a pay bump because you are managing. But there's some really weird requests. One of the setup instructions is to basically in the audience build a separate kind of platform for people to sit on that is kind of gated off. You have instructions to put a couple mirrors on top of catwalks. And at one point, there's instructions for salt to be dropped in certain doorways.
Do I know if dropping salt in doorways is up to OSHA? Because I feel like that could cause someone to slip. Like, does it have to be exposed to air, or am I trying to figure out how to make, like, you know how they have those wire coverings that they do to, like, make things, because you can't just tape down wires, you have to, like,
Right. Yeah.
am I able to fill one of those with salt and stick it there so no one's going to slip on the salt? Because
I'm sure you
That
can.
makes sense.
I'm sure you can. The only instruction was that there needed to be salt on any openings on the outside.
Every door just has a little cable ramp. And then
Exactly.
Electrical,
underneath it, like the salt.
it's filled with salt.
There
just cover it
is
with electrical tape.
yeah, electrical tape, gaff, something like that. So
Don't use can tape.
it's really interesting though that there's no the description that they put onto this is an anti-pest measure.
Snails?
But the
Demons?
yeah the things that you've seen in here already don't really react to salt. So things are kind of weird. Nobody else seems to be really picking up on it, though. Would you like to roll something to try to maybe piece everything together to see what might be happening?
Yeah, I would really like to do that. Just because Jenny's kind of... I don't have any occult, but I would either say, like, investigator to see how good my Google foo is, or maker to see if Jack has ever forced me to make stuff like this before.
I will allow either of those at a -1.
Okay, I'll go with maker then, because my investigator is at 1, so that would be a 0. Otherwise, that is
Okay.
a 6 minus 1, so 5.
5. Oh yeah, that's more than does it. Actually, you succeed with style on that one too. It's not difficult to piece together that these are measures meant to keep certain things out. There's a little bit of demon warding that you've seen that Jack's managed. You know, kind of you've watched Jack put together. Some of your other Evelina contacts you've noticed use some of these techniques that you've had to put in place, and they have some really clever explanations as to why this needs to occur in the directional setup. And nobody seems to question it twice, but once you start piecing things together, it seems everything is centered around that balcony that you've been trying to build.
Huh. Do I have a, like, I assume I'm not where the buck stops for this. There's someone over me that's giving out these instructions.
Yeah.
That I can, obviously I need to communicate with them to get approvals on certain things, especially with a balcony like this one. Do I have their contact information, or do they have an office I can go to?
No, your project manager is on site personally overseeing everything. It's been very tense. The guy has been an absolute bear when it comes to details.
Can I just kind of go up to him with, just try to pull him not like when we're working, but like, when it works, and just kind of
When there's kind of a lull in the work. Okay.
We're waiting for paint to dry or glue to dry.
Okay. Yeah, no, you can absolutely pull aside. Jenny, what you got?
Well, I had a couple questions. One, did you actually look at the salt thing that we set up so people aren't slipping on that, or it doesn't get blown away, or is that a spec?
Yep, that's totally fine. It looks like you definitely you spotted something before it became a problem. So good on you. I'm definitely putting that in the report for the IATSE.
Glad to hear that. Second of all, I gotta ask about. I'm a little. I don't know if you're willing to indulge me on my curiosity here, but is there a reason why we're building a balcony and all this stuff seems really I'll be blatant, demon ward-y?
Demon what? Are you okay, Jenny? Like, have you?
No, it's really specific.
Have you been
like,
smoking the reefer? Like, I'm obligated to report it if so, but I mean, we could just leave it out if that's the case. You're doing a really good job, but
I'm not smoking reefer, sir.
Okay.
I have really weird friends, and they do weirdly specific stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So if I know if we're working towards that, we can cut some additional stuff off. Like if we've got somebody who's like who believes in the whole demon word stuff, we know to avoid certain materials and things that they're going to yell at us later, or to look out for certain OSHA stuff, sulfur and magnesium tend to be something I need an MSD sheet for, and if they're going to spring it on me, it's just nicer to have the sheet on hand in case a Karen in the audience starts flipping out, you know?
I understand, and all of that stuff is provided. Like, we have union rules that we have to follow for this stuff. It's but we haven't been given any reason why any of this stuff is out of the ordinary. It's in the contract. It's how the how the event hall wanted this set up. So we're just getting our instructions directly from them.
All right, is it the event hall's the one that's asking about this stuff, or is it like is the event hall getting fed this stuff from the performer? Who's performing this anyway?
I don't know. I'm not paid to know that.
I mean, do we have posters we gotta hang up or stuff like that? We can do that while we're waiting for.
Nope, event hall takes care of all that.
All right. All right. Also, yes, always add weird things to the rider.
Yep. That's essentially what he's kind of boiling this down to. Is like, yeah, it doesn't matter. They put it in the contract. Our job is to go through the contract and put it and make it happen. Like, we're not really questioning what's going on here.
Mm-hmm. I do have one question, Sarge. The balcony that we're constructing, in the event that there was an emergency, this raised seating platform, would everybody be able to get off of it in a quickly, timely manner?
Yep, okay. It's literally just kind of boosted above everybody like 2 or 3 feet. It's not like hanging on the wall or anything like that.
I was just, you said like gated thing, and I'm like,
oh yeah, it looks like, so if you think about like a VIP area in a nightclub, that's kind of what it looks like to you.
Okay.
But the fact that there's specific instructions to build this is a little strange.
Yeah, boss man, you don't mind if I take a look at the contract, right? Just to look it over, no offense. I just want to make sure that we don't end up sinking ourselves over something weird.
No, take it. Go ahead. I mean, we're waiting on paint to dry at this point, so ain't got shit else to do.
Yeah, maybe I'll be able to find a place where we can extra charge them for something specific, like if we need to make sure we have, like, I don't know, goat's blood on the rider.
He kind of smirks and shakes his head. Get back to work, Jenny.
Dude, it's Vegas. You never know what's going to happen.
Back
at this point,
to work with you. All right.
She just walked out with the contract.
Okay.
I want to look at the
flipping through the contract, yes, there's strange stuff in here. And some of it you're not really able, some of it you don't recognize. You're either chalking it up to strange things in the rider that are meant specifically to clue people in that you've read the rider, but there's definitely some stuff in here that you're kind of flipping through, and like even outside of where you're setting up, there's certain electrical patterns that look really weird. Like this shouldn't be a parallel circuit. This should be a series circuit. This type of resistor isn't good for this area, but it makes a pretty circle kind of stuff.
Have you seen Good Omens? Or read Good Omens? The London Freeway?
Yep.
Are we seeing some London Freeway?
Yeah, 95.
Maybe. You don't quite know. You don't recognize it if it is. But yeah, no, there's, like I said, there's some weird stuff going on, but you're not really being paid for this either. Like, on one hand, it's good to have, and these are all protective as far as you can tell. Putting salt in, for a fact, putting salt in openings helps prevent demons. At least I think it's demons. Confirm? Yes, no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ghosts.
Okay, so so this type of stuff seems to be protective in nature. It's not trying to keep things inside of it. It's trying to keep things from coming into the performance, whatever it is. So it's not immediately concerning as far as like your monster hunting vibes go. But this also isn't the first time that you've seen this kind of stuff implemented before. You generally keep it quiet, though.
What are you doing in a magic show that you're this worried about demons coming in?
And that's exactly what you should be thinking. This is a lot of layers. Like, you're used to seeing some of this stuff every now and then. But this is like layers upon layers. Like, this was very intricately designed.
Like a parfait?
Like a parfait.
Parfaits have layers.
And this is expensive. Like, this is somebody with money and influence who's trying to do this. And that's why it's weird to me. And that sounds like possibly future work. Is it legal for me to share this contract? Is there like a non-disclosure agreement anywhere
Yes.
on this contract?
There's actually
is-
3 of them.
There's three
There's
of them.
3 non-disclosure agreements, each dealing with a different aspect of this, and the legalese, as far as you can tell, is next to bulletproof.
Is it the contract in plain, or does it mention transformative? So if I was to restate this to someone, which is something that technically you're not legally allowed to do when in regards to contracts, such as I can't read a legal waiver to somebody and have them sign it. They themselves have to read it in certain states. At least I know that's how it is in Ohio.
Okay.
Is it something where if I were to read a summary of this to somebody else and disclosing the general gist, is that protected in this contract, or is it just a case of the contract itself is sacred?
Do you have anything that would relate to paperwork as far as skills or bureaucracy? or something like
Organizer.
that? Okay, yeah, go ahead and roll organizer.
Is that my roll, or is that the?
That's your roll.
That's the level.
So
is it a 6 or?
No. So the 6 is how many fate
1.
points you have.
Oh,
currently.
okay. Then my last roll was incorrect. It was a 3, not a 6.
Oh,
I was reading
that's
the
fine.
wrong dot.
Don't worry about it. It's
So many dots.
So with a 1, you're used to reading contracts because it's part of your job. This is confusing you, like to the point where you get 2 pages in and you have to flip back for a glossary reading because it's just it's so confusing and confuddled. You really can't tell exactly what these NDAs are covering, but you do get the only thing that's clear is how badly they're gonna fuck you up if you break it.
I assume with this work contract, this is something that. What contract do I have? Do I have a specific contract to me, or?
You're just basically an IATSE stagehand.
Okay.
Like you've just been kind of promoted for this specific event as set up.
Okay. I meant more so like if there was like a work contract NDA that I had to sign when I worked here, if it was just a organizational contract.
No, that's an organizational contract. The NDA is specifically having to do with anything that's being set up here on behalf of the event hall and the guest.
All right. We have that one weird governmental dude's number, right?
Yeah.
Do I know if it's text or call only?
He didn't say.
All right. If I send it like a quick text, does it blink back that I've texted a landline?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna give it a call. Out in my, I don't have a car, and somewhere where I know I can't be overheard. Like I'd wait till I got home to do that. I wouldn't do that at work. Just due to
it's going through, but it just keeps ringing.
Remember, if you only speak in hypotheticals, you never violate an NDA.
I wasn't even gonna. I was just gonna say there's a very interesting event going on this night. I'm not. I don't think there's anything about a.
Hypothetically, if I was working on a event where this balcony had to have a lot of salt, hypothetically, of course.
I was just gonna do the age-old. Have you ever visited this particular event hall? I mean, I might just speak to the ringing line and just kind of go. You know, I don't know if you've ever visited blank event hall, but it's pretty interesting this time of year.
Okay. Sorry.
You know, you should tell me what you think about it.
The rest of the setup is just as weird. Again, there's more kind of weird requests in the contract. But overall it goes off without a hitch. You get your pay, everybody else gets paid, and your IATSE reports are put in. At least I think that's how that goes, right? For IATSE is you basically report that you did it. I'm talking to Vex because I know they're in the IATSE. You basically give like a report sheet, right? How much time you worked, what you did, that kind of stuff.
As far as I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So with that, you kind of go home. Do you share any of this with your roommates?
Okay, so hypothetically, I can't technically be telling you any of this. So Clarence, plug your ears and hum.
¿Por qué?
I love it.
I tell Max instead, because I know Max is probably the only one that can keep their trap shut in front of pressure.
Have you?
Let's shut. More just, I'm gonna snark at you, so you don't pay attention. There are no secrets back here.
And I relay all the weird shit that's going on in the hall, and I go, think we want to maybe show up and see what's going on, or how do you feel about seeing a magic show?
You were doing this at your regular job. We don't have a contract out on this?
Yeah, but if this goes wrong, we can get the jump on this contract and like so quickly, and we'll have most of our legwork done.
Okay, but like that's if there's a contract out on this. Who is gonna pay for that?
I mean, if something shows up and starts sulfuring up the dance hall, I bet we can convince somebody that they should definitely put out an iHunt contract.
Why would they do that if we've already done all the legwork for free?
But they don't know that. They don't know if we've done the legwork. That doesn't mean we don't just get ice cream and watch Netflix for a day before turning it in.
I admire your gumption. Max is correct in this one. If you do the work before a contract gets placed...
No, I don't mean like killing the demon. I mean like being there to witness it come forward.
Yeah. Generally, the contracts happen after that stuff happens. So if the demon goes on a rampage and you're there, you're going to have to wait until the event hall goes, maybe we should call in some hunters to track this thing down.
Well, that's what I'm saying is, what I'm saying isn't that we are there and fight the demon. It's if we are there and watch the demon come forth from the pits of hell, we can do a quick Google search while we wait for the contract to go live.
I feel like we could do that Google search. How do I say this? After we get the promise that we're going to get paid, and
However,
in the meantime, I have to go call Mary Smith over here.
However, if you guys want to go and watch the event, if you do a quick Google search, there are some tickets still left. It's expensive. It's really expensive. It's like $500 a ticket.
Never mind in that regards. Are they hiring for people to work stagehand that night, though?
No, not at this particular time. You remember from the contract that everything past the setup was all handled by either the event hall or the guest staff.
Damn, that sucks.
Now that is weird, because they are officially sidestepping IATSE by doing that.
Yeah, that's not nice. Especially not because I like getting paid for watching demons wreck some poor bastard shit if he's being foolish enough to mess with them live on stage.
Okay.
Oh.
So with that, Max, it's about 2 days before quote-unquote present time, and you get a phone call, and it's ringing from your old phone. It actually has your name on it. The last person that you have given that number to is essentially an emergency phone for your brother.
Okay. I will pick up the phone.
Okay. Hey, Max.
Hey, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. I am currently at UNV campus.
Okay.
And I need a pickup. Max, it's a school day.
What's going on?
Can you just come pick me up?
If you tell me what's happening once I get there.
Yeah, I think we could do that. I need you to come pick me up.
Okay.
All right. Max, you don't have a car.
I do not have a car. It's Clarence's truck. Is there a way that I can be like, hello, Clarence? Or are you in the middle of doing a thing with your truck?
That's up to Clarence.
Hello, please.
Necesitas el camión?
I love how you're looking up the Google translation for it while you're trying to answer.
I mean, I would love to borrow the truck if that's all right. My brother's having a crisis of some sort and needs me to pick him up.
Sure.
Thank you.
You know how to drive a stick?
That's a good question, Max. Do you know how to drive a stick? Do you even have a driver's license?
I don't care if she has a driver's license. I need to know that she's not going to ruin my clutch.
How long have we been living together? Because I don't know that Max has learned to drive stick before this, but I think that if we had lived with each other long enough that they would have been like, "Hey, Clarence, teach me how to drive stick."
There's a vague amount of time between, we'll say, like 2 to 6 months that you guys have been living together.
I feel like within that time,
I
if
learned how to
Max
drive
is
a stick
okay with,
in roughly 4 hours. You got this.
yeah, I was gonna say it's not fucking hard, but it's just to like have to be around each other for long enough to be like, you're not terrible, and also if Clarence would be willing to teach Max on their truck, because I know that learning can also be a time.
Okay.
It's easy.
Okay.
Okay. So, yeah, we'll say in retrospect that Max has learned how to drive clutch, specifically from Clarence. So, you take it. I assume you're going to drive. Clarence, do you want to go with, or is you getting the feeling that Max is kind of wanting to do this on their own?
Why would I want to go with? My show's on.
Point.
Where is the map? Can you say map?
Mapadore!
Swiper, no swiping.
I mean, that is the best way to learn languages, is to watch kid shows about it.
Yeah.
Okay, so Max, you jump in the old hoopty and take off to paradise.
Don't ever call it that again.
I love the word hoopty. It's amazing.
It's never being called that again.
And he's just sitting on the couch next to Clarence. Oh man, I would put a cap in Swiper's ass.
Swiper, no sniping!
Certainly watching Dora the Explorer.
I can see you guys doing that too. That's the best part. I'm the map. You're a bitch is what you are. Okay, so with that, Max, you managed to get to NV without, you have NV without too much problem. And you do find, did we name your brother? I don't remember.
Oh, we did. We sure did. Do I remember what his name is?
Did we name your brother? Is he important enough?
His name is now Paul.
Where would I have put that? That's great.
Clarence the Second.
Clarence.
Alejandro.
It doesn't look like we put it down.
All right. Well,
Kyle.
No, that sounds like he's basic. He sounds like he plays hockey.
He lives in. He goes
lives
to
in
UNV and lives in
Vegas.
Nevada, like Las Vegas. His name is Kyle. Come on.
Paul.
Chad.
Brunswick.
Chad Kyle's.
whoa.
Kyle Chadson.
What,
Bartholomew.
What is
Hey, that's
what
my
is his
middle
name?
That's my
Let's
part.
go with Kyle.
Let's go with Kyle.
Let's see.
So you see Kyle standing there. He's a fairly average-looking kid. Probably, I believe we said he was 17 because he only has a little bit of time left before he ages to become not a minor. Fairly tall, lanky, sandy blonde hair, sharp, angular features. He ran track for a while, so he's pretty like lean fit, not like the muscular fit. But he's got like a ratty t-shirt on and some jeans, and he sees you pull up. He doesn't recognize you at first because like there's just, you know, old fucking pickup truck coming by, and then like he kind of looks at it, looks away, and then double takes like what? As you kind of pull up, it's, hi Max, when did you? Is this
Get in the
yours?
truck. You really think this is mine? Get in the truck and explain.
Okay, all right. So he climbs in, and he kind of looks around for a moment and looks back. And the very first thing that comes out of his mouth is, "You're not going to tell Mom about this, right?"
Depends on what it is.
All right. He kind of unslings his backpack and opens it in the floorboard, and he pulls out a pamphlet for the oh man, I had it. Historical. That's it. Their historical degree, a degree in history, and
Okay.
he looks kind of embarrassed, and he's like, "I know Mom really wants me to go into engineering, but I don't know.
Dude, if you want to study old shit, then like go for it, man. What is this? Your crisis?
I mean, you know, Mom.
Fair.
Yeah, I had to to
Yeah.
basically convince a buddy to drive me out here during school. They think I'm out sick with a dental appointment. You know, I forged a signature just like I saw you do a few times. So
Better not let her catch you doing that shit.
mm.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I appreciate you coming out here and helping me. Can you just drop me like a couple blocks away from the house?
Was your plan the whole time to have me come pick you up after?
Actually, no. my
Okay.
my friend kind of bailed afterward.
Your friend sounds like an asshole. Get better friends.
Yep. Do you have
Okay.
do you have friends that would do that to you?
Okay, but like, you know that you're supposed to be doing better than me, right? Like, I'm not the fucking benchmark here.
Yeah, that's what Mom says, and I don't necessarily agree with her.
She's not wrong. All right, you are gonna actually go to college and like do actual fucking things with your life, and it's gonna be fantastic. And if that is looking at dusty ass old buildings, then sure, do that, and we'll deal with Mom when we need to. If you want to keep telling her you're going for engineering, that's fine, and I won't say anything. I'm not that I fucking talk to her anyway, but
Can you roll me? Oh God, what's the perception skill in this one?
For personality or for like just looking at stuff in general?
Like visual recognition. Let's go with.
I thought there was a perception skill.
oh, you know, say
Let's go with spy. It's either spy or investigator, and they're both +1. So
great.
roll one of those. Okay.
Nope.
So you kind of see him like as he starts putting the pamphlets back into the bag. You notice that he's not, and this is an odd thing to notice, not necessarily an odd thing to occur, but he's not like opening the backpack and putting it in between things. He's kind of just stuffing it on the top and zipping. Which is, I mean, you can't remember how he necessarily zips up his backpack, and it's maybe not anything to pay attention to, but it's just odd that you picked up on that. You guys have a relatively nice conversation. It's fairly quiet, but you know, as you drive back to Enterprise to drop him off next to your parents' house, everything seems to
A
be
couple of blocks away, so that he walks home like we would normally do.
He seems to be dodging some topics, like kind of like how Mom is treating him, but he doesn't seem particularly distressed about anything. But it seems like he's fairly stressed about something.
Do you want me to hang on to that pamphlet for you? So that she doesn't find it in your shit? In case she starts going through your shit like she did mine?
He actually stops for a moment and thinks about it. Yeah, actually, that's a smart idea. See, this is why you're my older sibling. And he was about to say sister, and then he's like sibling. Yeah, like he's trying.
Plus. Is she giving you a tough time about other shit?
I really don't want to talk about it, if that's okay.
You know I'll talk to her for you, right?
Kind of what I'm concerned about.
See, this is why you get the brains of the family.
He kind of smiles
All
at
right.
you, and he opens his backpack real quick, pulls the pamphlet out, and zips the backpack a little faster than normal. But as he hands the pamphlet over, he smiles, and he leans over and gives you a hug. And while he's hugging you, he's like, "Thank you. You're always here for me when I need you."
Yeah. That's what big siblings are there for.
And he hops out and starts walking his way home. It's about the time he gets home from school anyway, so nothing should seem suspicious.
Okay.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be
Don't
suspicious.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. All right. So, as everything comes fast forwards to today, almost you could imagine, as you will, a big black screen with the block letters "today" or "the present" coming up, and everybody's in the living room watching intently a Spanish soap opera. It has quickly become one of the house's favorites. And everybody... you think it's called something along the lines of, like, The Stars in Our Eyes, or something like that. You're not sure. And it's really hard to keep up with the fast-paced Spanish, but Clarence has been picking up enough of it that if anybody has any questions, he can generally kind of give a synopsis of what's going on, even if some of the details are fuzzy. Can you guys kind of describe yourselves in this scene? What you do?
Comfortable. like cat sunning itself. Like, I'm pretty sure Jenny is either laid out across more of the couch than is socially acceptable, or more of the roommates than is socially acceptable.
Pretty much.
Like bunny
Probably the
slippers, PJs, ratty ass T-shirt full of 6 different holes from a crew shirt from like 6 years ago that probably should be thrown away, but it's way too worn in, and like the most large oversized hoodie that looks like she shanked Santa and stole it. Giant oversized, like
Pretty recently,
quadruple XL.
I was
flannel.
forced into a store by Ginny, and I was forced to buy not overalls. So I'm sitting in sweatpants.
Okay. All right.
Clarence is not Clarence. Woof. Clarence just spoke. Max is the character that I'm playing. Hi, Brain. Welcome to the party.
Hi.
Max is laying on the ground with their feet up on the couch on top of Jenny's stomach because Jenny is taking up too much room. But their back is more comfortable on the ground anyway, and it's just like scrolling through, looking up the historical studies program at the university.
Can
that
you really be
they
gay if you're sitting normally on a couch, though?
correct.
That's the clearest indication of heterosexuality. As a heterosexual man.
Yeah, if you don't sit and look like a nuclear family, then you're gay.
Mm-hmm.
What's a nuclear family?
What?
What are those?
What? No, that's
Oh,
like
man.
it's the mom, dad, one son, one daughter, all sitting on the couch, perfectly behaved. That's the nuclear family.
No,
That's
not
the
only
nuclear
not
meltdown.
only well behaved, but they're all like ramrod straight with their hands in their laps, like just
So
all
mannequins.
focused on
And
the
don't
TV.
forget the children are sitting on the floor in order to fully show that they are lesser than their adult parents.
She gets it.
Yep.
Okay, Jack, how are you kind of lounging here?
Jack is sitting on the very corner edge of the couch, probably feet of Jenny, almost touching, because that is like the only space on the couch that is available.
Because then I can kick him when it
Yeah,
gets to
I've
the good
sat
part.
right in the middle. Like Ginny has to lay over me.
And Jack is shuffling a new deck of cards, just
Of course he is.
absent-mindedly, looking at myself saying, is this the card? Is this my card? Is this my card?
I could imagine him doing the card manipulation tricks too as he's doing it. Like he's like, hasn't bridged out between all of his fingers, and he's like, "Which one's mine? Oh shit, that's not where it's supposed to be," and then collapses it back down and reshuffles real quick.
That's exactly
Every
it.
once in a while, Max is just gonna toss a coaster at him.
It's-
Cause funny.
Oh, and Jack is also absent-mindedly looking up the lyrics to "What's New, Pussycat" by Tom Jones and Julian.
Fantastic.
I want it to be known that I'm just sitting there, and every once in a while, on a mocking tone, I'm like, "Es esta tu tarjeta?"
This is fantastic. All right, I want to know, out of character, Brian, how long have you been planning to do this, or was this just on a whim?
This was on a whim.
Okay, cool. It is the best whim yet.
I did not plan this at all.
I'd like to
You're
think
like,
that
"What did
Clarence
you
is
do?" And I was
legitimately
like, "I
learning
learned
it through Google
Spanish."
Translate. So it's like
Huh?
indecipherable to actual Spanish speakers.
Oh, man. Okay, so all of your phones go off at the same time. And there's a notification on the iHunt app that a new contract has been offered.
What's the sitch?
It is a 3-star contract.
Mm.
And there is a picture of a what looks like to be like one of the abandoned warehouses at night. And all it says is it's a $5,000 offering, and it says that one of the employer's storehouses was broken into and its product cleaned out, and there's evidence that it might be a monster. There were claw marks, bites, and various other accoutrements, but they're not sure what the actual monster is. And the contract
Does
is
it say
based. What? Go ahead.
Does it say what the product was that got cleared out?
It does not.
Could be cocaine. Could be
Teddy
My
bears.
Little Pony dolls.
Yep.
Could be meat. All three of these lend to very different monsters. All of them equally horrifying to deal with.
Wait a second. What sort of monster steals My Little Pony dolls, and why are they terrifying?
A brony. Have you
Bronies
met
or
one?
my ex. Take your pick. Both of them are horrendous to deal with.
Is that in character your ex or out of character your ex?
Yes.
Yes.
Look, I don't know why it is, but like I've had multiple exes where after I stopped dating them, one of them came out as a brony, the other one came out as a furry.
How
It's
do you
just
come
like
out
becoming...
as a brownie? I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, you can't exactly say that kind of stuff in public.
Oh. Well, I knew. Okay, so I was in band in college, and you know what
Oh,
band
man.
attracts?
Yep. I've dated.
It was paying my scholarship. Okay, it was paying for my college. That's why I was there. I didn't
Oh,
want to hear
man.
talk about My Little Pony and how it had very massive political ramifications, and it was actually a really solid show. I didn't care. Didn't care.
Yep.
Yeah, see, most of my I just hung out where the Gamers Guild was and where there's gamers.
There's bronies.
Yeah.
Almost solidly.
So
All right. So
serious.
So you guys noticed that almost immediately the bid price drops to $4,500. As somebody has bid on the contract already.
That's really crazy.
4-4. Do we want to bid on it?
Clarence puts his phone away and
Stars.
keeps watching the TV.
44.
All right, 44 it is. Gets put in, drops to 43.
Man, people are hungry. 43.
No, it's already dropped to 43. We'd have to do 42.
Oh, 42. Sorry.
4250.
What is the lowest, out of character, what is the lowest that you guys are willing to go before this becomes not worth it?
4,000?
That would really depend on how much mutilation is involved.
Yeah, with not knowing what's in that warehouse, I wouldn't want to go below like 350.
Okay.
Because like again, it's one of those things. It could just be that they stole like a shit ton of like VHS tapes in a storehouse, and they're trying to, or they're trying to burn the
It's just
Atari
a
cartridges
bunch
for
of old
ET.
70s vintage porn.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
What I
like-
do on Thursday nights is none of anybody in this game's concern. All right.
So the price drops down to about 4,100, and it seems to be holding steady. And that was your guys' last bid. It doesn't seem like anybody's willing to go under that. And as the 10 minutes kind of tick by, everybody's kind of glued to their phones, except for Clarence, who's still watching the stars in our eyes. And you get it. It goes through. And you almost immediately get a notification from the app saying that there is a request for the client to meet you.
Cool. Oh no, we have to put on pants. We have to put on actual people pants, not PJ comfy pants. We have to put on real people pants.
Do we have to put on real people pants?
I mean, you don't have
could-
to, but
we
you do
could
have
do
to
a
be
pajama
professional.
run monster hunt.
Folks, I have an outfit I'm putting on for this. I'll be right back.
I have an outfit.
I don't know. What do you think,
Wearing
Max?
shirt,
Pajama
pants,
run
and
monster hunt, or
jumps
should
up.
we actually dress in stuff that'll, protect our lives if this thing gets icky?
Fine, I suppose survival is like important.
It might be.
Clarence
Look,
used
I'm not
pants,
risking
gets up
this
and runs out
jacket.
of the
It
room
took me a
yelling,
lot of
"Come take it, mi
time."
mono."
Pantalones el fuego. That's not what that means.
Keep trying, Clarence. Keep trying.
Conseguir mi mono? I'm gonna get my overalls.
I love it.
Can Jack reappear in his outfit?
Yeah? What's the outfit?
Oh, Jack comes out in a really shoddy looking 3-piece red and white plaid suit that looks straight out of something you'd find at a Goodwill section from a lounge singer who has passed away from the 1970s.
I hate that is such a clear image in my head. I don't like that.
I can almost smell the weed.
I can.
I can smell the thrift store. You know
Yeah.
the odor that thrift stores have?
Yep,
Specifically
exactly.
Salvation Armies, because Goodwills and Salvation Armies smell differently.
They do, 100%. And just
Yes.
like any like consignment shop also smells different from those, but all consignment shops do smell similar.
Yeah.
It's a weird.
It smells like I can smell the Salvation Army right now. I can smell the desperation in the staple gun.
Listen.
Clarence walks
Sometime-
downstairs.
Sometimes you just have to look nice for a hunt.
Yeah, Jenny's just gonna put on the Duluth Brand Trading Co.
Hashtag
Put on-
sponsored. Hashtag Duluth.
I love Duluth
Hashtag
Brand Co.
you're not
I'm
in the
wearing their
Midwest
flannel right
anymore.
now. But yeah, Jenny's gonna probably put on a pair of like the fire hose pants because they're the tear resistant, like sweat wicking, so they're comfortable and they have the gussets for full movement.
I'm
And
almost
then-
concerned that you are so detailed about this particular brand of jeans right now.
I put
I
on my
just want a
dress
pair
overalls.
really badly. I just really want a pair.
I put on my corporate
the-
casual overalls.
Your corporate casual, nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
They've
Jenny's monster hunting outfit is very similar to Jenny's I'm having to do tear down outfit, which is sturdy clothing and black, but
Okay.
also comfy.
So the location that the client has requested to meet you at is actually in West Las Vegas. And it seems to be upon quickly Googling it, it's basically like a hole-in-the-wall Cuban restaurant. The reviews are not kind. But basically, like, it's one of those places that has the plastic sign out front, and that's probably the most expensive thing about the whole place.
Do the reviews mention dying of dysentery on the Oregon Trail?
No, but there was somebody said they saw a rat.
Oh no, a rat.
Honestly, that probably means it tastes better.
That's
Okay.
protein, guys.
With
Hey,
that,
you're gonna get a discount if you actually see the rat, though. So
it's one of those places that when they ask for the Department of Health license, they go, the what? No habla inglés. All right, and on that, we're going to cut to a commercial break real quick so that everybody can go grab some water, hit a bio break, and we'll go from there.
Awesome. I can
Yeah.
finish the thing that I keep half typing and getting distracted by.
This
Be
is
right back.
these are the kind of overalls that Clarence would wear.
Oh, that's actually something I did want to talk to you. You know, I'll wait till everybody's back to talk about that.
I'm debating on when I'm gonna ask Jack why, if he's a magician, he can't just snap his fingers and make his clothes change.
Oh man, that's fantastic.
Yeah, the whole Spanish thing, like literally, you asked me what I did, and I was like, I learned Spanish.
Are you really wearing overalls that are like train conductor stripe?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. You're wearing the dress
Yeah.
overalls, I see.
Yes, these are my corporate casual. By the way, the idea of corporate casual overalls is wonderful.
It really is. I'm greatly enjoying just the concept of like ratings of overalls.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah. Don't mind me. I'm not getting distracted by looking at the Trading Co. fire hose work pants.
Oh my gosh. You would.
Dude, they're like nice. Like hashtag girl boss. Like yes.
Why can't? Oh, duh.
For what it's worth, I own several articles of clothing from Duluth, and boy,
I'm wearing the flannel right now,
I have
and it is amazing.
I have flannel among other things, and I'm very, very happy to own them.
My winter coat's actually, I got a new winter coat this year that's from Duluth, and I'm really excited for it to get cold enough I can actually wear it because it's like made of the fire hose stuff, so it's really nice. And, like,
Nice.
and also I have my favorite thing ever is I own a pair of pundies from Duluth Trading Co. AKA they have a work bra. It's not a sports bra, it's a work bra, and
A
it's called a
work
Hell
bra.
Brazier.
I've seen that.
I love the fact that it's called a Hell Brazier, and
Yep.
it was so comfortable it was worth the purchase.
Mm-hmm.
Just because and it's not expensive as far as like really high support sports bras go. It was really cheap compared to like for something with that much support. If I was buying it from like anywhere else, it would have been like $60 to $80. It was like $30. I was like, fuck yeah.
Okay.
And it breathes, which is amazing to say because normally with sports bras, like I can't breathe, nor can my titties. But it's like it's amazingly breathable. But yeah, that's my Duluth Trading Co. promotion here. Ooh, they're having a sale on certain color. Oh, they only have a 22 wide.
So I actually ended up scoring a pair of Duluths from Goodwill, which was
Lucky.
super cool because it got like $150 pair of jeans for like $20.
Uh-huh.
But it ended up costing an extra $40 because I had to take them to a tailor to get mended because they were fucking worn, man. Like they plowed through that pair of jeans. But I still got them. That was like fucking 4 years ago, and it's still like I've only just now gotten a new rip in them because of moving things with nails in them. Tends to catch jeans.
Yeah.
I own
Honestly, they're so nice.
I own flannel.
I'm gonna go get a drink before I forget too.
Flannel, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm a flannel guy. But this is the season of Bob. And then I also own like the Duluth boxers. And listen, gentlemen,
Gentlemen in the stream.
since we're the gentlemen of the stream, let me explain something to you. If you do not own a pair of Duluth boxers, I would highly recommend. 10 out of 10, best pair of stuff like that in the entire universe.
Oh man, that
You
sounds.
will-
Actually, I mean, Puma boxer briefs are some of my favorite.
Have you
They're
worn
stupid comfy.
Duluth?
Yes,
Oh,
have-
you
I have surprisingly enough tried on like 16 or 17 major brands of underwear.
I'm impressed.
I fucking love this group so much.
Like
It's like discussing wine, but instead of wine, it's like
Oh,
Look,
man.
okay,
that
Yes,
reminds me.
good manufacturer. Smooth.
in
cupping
order to
action.
get technical, while not like getting too in depth about it on Steam, I have to look for certain support.
Okay, makes sense.
you know, same. So that's why I recommend Duluth. If you're looking to sponsor a podcast or streaming group,
Yeah.
here's your chance.
I feel
Somebody.
like you could really advertise for Bob After Dark. Like, if you're, like, running away from the supernatural, or if you're trying to explore abandoned places, having something that won't catch on the various brambles, barbed wire, and the claws of the undead, you really should have something that's tear-resistant, like the Duluth Brand Trading Co. Fire.
See, my brain wasn't going after jeans when you said that. I thought you said that Bob After Dark should be sponsoring fucking Duluth underwear. And
I mean,
then
it could
you
too.
launched
I mean,
into that, and
literally,
I'm like,
whether you're,
Huh.
you know, whether you're hell raising or hell reseers, you know.
oh my God.
That is, Maddie, you looking for a job in like marketing here for me? Because I'll hire you tomorrow.
Honestly, I keep thinking the longer I've been in college, the more I'm like, maybe I should just go into marketing.
Oh, speaking of, actually, John said that he wants to talk to you again, Bob. Just so you know.
Absolutely, yeah. No, when he messaged me, I was all doped up from surgery,
Mm-hmm.
so I will reach back out and get that contact going again.
Nice.
Yep. No, I'm finally just now starting to come back, like 2 weeks later, playing catch up with everything. Hence our phone call the other day.
Honestly, dude, the fact that you sound more cognizant than you have since you've started playing the game, honestly. Like you seem more alert and more into it. And I know that a lot of that was because of how much pain you were in. So I'm glad to see that this is grabbing you.
Oh, you have no idea. I've also been on vacation from day job for the past like 4 days, so that's been kind of nice too.
Oh my God, yeah, stress relief.
Yes.
All right, so we got everybody back.
Real quick, ad break. Duluth, if you're listening to the stream, I wasn't joking. I could be your underwear model that you're looking for in the demographic of, spooky plus size male model. I could be that guy.
If they're
It's
going,
a slippery slope,
if
guys.
they're going for
First we
like,
start advertising for Duluth jeans, and now like we're doing Viagra commercials, and it's
I don't think you understand where I'm willing to go
Oh,
to get my show
no.
off the road with sponsorships. So,
dude, when you said Viagra, the only thing I could think about is, do you want a fear erection while going monster hunting?
Viva Viagra.
hi, I'm Bob from Bob After Dark, and I'm totally not taking this job.
Honestly, yeah, I wouldn't. I've seen some weird ass shit advertised on podcasts. I wouldn't put it past Viagra to be the next one.
Yep. There's like just even mainstream stuff has some weird fucking sponsors every so often. They're like, and speaking of, play Raid Shadow Legends. Aren't you a mechanic? Like, how did this pop up?
Yes, it's like, hey, are you bored while waiting for your breaks to get done? Raid Shadow Legends.
Exactly.
Pretty much.
Hola, me llamo Clarence. No puedo lograr la erección.
Brian, in real life, do you speak Spanish? Because you're doing really well.
Yeah, you were, at least as far as I can tell, you're doing really well.
I do.
Okay. I'm like, man, you're knocking this out of the park. Because if you're just Google translating and making those enunciations, hats off, man. Because I have that white person tongue where I can't roll my R's, and it's just like, hola, me llamo Bob. Donde está el cato?
Give me
grew
one
up-
of them
I grew
there.
up in the
See,
barrio, but
I was first exposed to Spanish when I lived in Texas, so I got the Texan version of Spanish, which is "mi amo."
grassy ass.
Grassy ass, give me one of them quesadillas and put them on my platter.
That's
Like,
quesadillas.
Oh, now I want a quesadilla. I thought there was like my friend. I tend to have the Ohioan thing, which goes back and forth between actually attempting to say it right and then saying it purposely worse so no one realizes I just actually can't say it. Like, I have so many people that say Chipotle and Chipotle to the point where I've just started calling it Chipotle.
It's
Now,
Chip-
Chipotle
both
Toddle,
sides.
actually, thank you.
is it so if you pronounce Aristotle like Chipotle,
Aristotle.
It's Aristoteles.
I love it. All right,
So crazy.
so back from commercial
Why are
break.
there jalapenos
I
in my
would
guacamole?
like to say an aside that I absolutely adore the fact that once we declare commercial break, we actually start talking about who could sponsor. Just as a fucking aside, so like almost legitimately, it's a commercial advertising break at this point. But getting back to it, you guys. So you guys see the Cuban restaurant. How quickly do you guys try and get there?
Well, the message they sent us, was it like, get here now, or?
No, they did mention a time in about an hour.
Try to arrive within that time frame.
Is there an ice cream place nearby?
No, there is not, unfortunately.
We'll get some afterwards.
Sounds good. That is like the only reason why I hang out with this team anymore is because we get ice cream.
We kill things, we get ice cream. It's a fun living.
Watch Spanish soap operas. It's can't spell family without dysfunction.
Yep, exactly. So you guys managed. You guys pull up in the. I want to say hoopty so bad. You guys pull up in the truck and kind of pile out and walk in. And this is one of those locations that not only has a bulletproof screen around where you order, but it also has those really, really awful plastic benches that you can sit at, plastic benches with tables, that you can't even describe as like plastic. Like, it's its own degraded form of just awfulness, and I can't, like, it's pleather, but for plastic.
Oh, yeah.
And
Like they bought it off surplus from a local school.
exactly. Yeah, exactly like that. And there is somebody who's already in there, and he is absolutely chowing down on what looks like a Cuban with a big old bowl of beans and rice next to him. And it's a gentleman with a crescent tattoo that comes right around here. A rather large, from what you can guess, like a Pacific Islander. He looks kind of Hispanic, but there are some key differences in skin tone when it comes to that. But on top of the crescent-shaped tattoo around his eye, he also seems to have some that come down around his arms. And he's got essentially like a wife beater and a small button-up, like that's been rolled up over the elbows.
Do we see anyone else, or?
Nope, he's the only person.
I just kind of pull up my phone and look at my phone, look around, look at my phone, look around.
He actually kind of notices you guys just standing there, and he goes, "Hey, brothers, you the peeps?"
Si, senor.
We are eye hunters, yeah.
All
Is
right.
that what you're looking for?
Yeah, come on, sit down. We got lots to talk about. There's not enough space for all of you on the benches.
I stand up, and mostly because I'm like, do you mind if you have anything you recommend off the menu, or?
No, this is all absolute garbage.
Oh, okay.
And he keeps eating it like it's like fucking liquid gold.
I go look at the menu while everyone's talking.
Okay.
Maybe
Is that
order
good?
something for everybody.
What do you recommend, pal?
I recommend not being in this area past dark. What do you want from me?
Oh, I meant the food, man.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's a good answer. That's a great answer. You just
He-
look like you're enjoying it.
He quickly finishes the last couple bites and licks his fingers and pushes everything else off to the side. And he goes, "All right, so we got you with the hiring, right?" Kind of scratches his eye. He seems very disinterested.
Yes.
Okay, so here the breakdown. Warehouse north side of Las Vegas. Got broken into. We go check it out. All the product gone, and we don't know who do it. When those claw marks, decide to bring in some outside help.
What's the product?
That's none of your business.
Could help us
We
figure
don't
out
even know,
who
like,
took it. Or
the
what?
exact origin of the product, but I want to know if I'm looking for like a methed up werewolf or like something that's got a taste for human flesh. Small differences would be nice to know.
Okay.
So, animal, vegetable, or mineral?
It'd be nice to know what time we die too, but we don't get to know that either.
Can we see the warehouse?
You got the picture of it.
Great.
Uh-huh. You guys ever had problems like this in the past? Anything similar?
There's a few things that go bump in the night that we managed to take care of. Yeah.
What was those bumps in the night?
You don't even know.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair, boss.
All right. Can we
Does
know the
anybody wanna-
address of this warehouse so we can at least start tracking it from there?
Does anybody want to roll me something for these information? Obviously, he's being very dismissive.
I don't suppose I could roll gorilla just from like speaking from somebody who is organized not so shady, some shady shit to someone else who apparently is involved in shady shit.
No, that it's a good try, but no, I don't think it'd apply here.
Okay. Socialite.
Yeah. Does anybody want to try and create aspect in order to help with rolls?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Can I use socialite to order the right thing off the menu to try to ingratiate ourselves to him, like
You
one of
could-
the locals kind of thing?
You can try. Go ahead.
Okay. Would that be socialite to do that?
Yeah, we'll go with socialite. Bob, what did you want to do?
I would like to create an aspect.
Okay.
Try to.
What are you trying to make?
I will roll influencer to see if I could use my wisecracking charm to see if the guy will loosen up to me.
Okay.
Or
What's
to
your
anybody.
influencer?
+3.
I believe somebody on your team has a +4 and they can give it out.
Yeah. Hi, that's me. I would love to do that.
So you can use. Go ahead.
No, I'll finish.
All right. You can use Max's +4 to roll influencer, but if you fail, then both you and them will suffer the consequences.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
You
but
think
if
it's
you
worth
get
it
a
there?
+7,
Oh, it's
It'd be
not
near
stacked.
impo-
It's not stacked.
Okay.
Thank God.
No.
Oh
Let's,
man, that'd be such
Just
a
roll
broken.
mine as though it was his.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
do you want to risk it there?
I mean, I can imagine both of you teaming up fairly interestingly.
Do you want to do
Sure,
this?
why not?
Yeah, I'll roll for the +4 then.
Okay. And
Great.
both of you can decide how you want to approach this once we get to resolving roles. Clarence, is there anything that you'd like to do?
yeah, can I roll fighter?
Okay.
Now, hear me out. Hear me out.
All right,
okay?
I'm listening.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So, he's Italian. Italians speak with their hands.
Oh my God.
Water stuck in my nose. Oh god, that hurts.
Oh man. All right. I'm gonna ask this simply. Are you sure you want to do that?
I'm not gonna fight him. I'm gonna use my hands.
You're talking with your hands, like, or are you talking with your hands?
No, I'm talking with my hands.
Oh man, you want to roll fighter for that? I'm gonna say no, only because language. The only language that is spoken with hands is not sign language. We'll put it that way.
I was about to say, hey now, sign language is a thing.
I hope you can read sign language because we're about to show hands.
I'm gonna catch these hands.
Look, you may not be able to read sign language
Oh my
before,
God.
but after the first hit, you will be.
That hurts so bad. That hurt. Oh my God. That
Man.
that
Yeah, no, I'm
hurts so
gonna
bad.
say no. That's not gonna be viable. Entertaining, but not viable. Maybe you can
Fine,
try and
I'll roll organizer.
to what end?
To the end of which that I'm gonna ask these guys over here if anything seems a little bit strange. Organize the team.
You're gonna do that at the table
Yeah.
in front of the
Kind
guy?
of like nudge him. Kind of like nudge him.
Okay.
Under my breath.
Italian.
I speak in Spanish. You won't understand.
Normally.
He looks Hispanic. Okay.
He,
All right.
He has an Italian accent.
Actually, I'm kind of borrowing from South American and Hawaiians. I
Yeah,
don't
I
know.
thought you were going for a Pacific Islander.
Yeah, I was trying. Apparently, I failed real bad.
Oh, you sounded Italian.
Sounds like it was from Boston.
Oh, I gotta get the Boston accent here.
You're like my cousin Vinny over here. I
No,
don't want
I
to
was,
have to fucking put him on the little cement shoes and put him to the bottom of the ocean.
I was trying to channel the Belters from The Expanse because they all are South American actors, so they all have very thick South American accents, and that comes off as the dialect for basically the entire Belter community. It's really I really enjoyed that twist on it. But anyway, no, not Italian. They're
They're South American. Okay, then
Yes.
maybe they speak Portuguese, in which Portuguese is completely different from Spanish.
But it's actually close enough that you can kind of understand the two. If you know Portuguese,
you
you
can
can sort of
understand-
understand Spanish and vice versa.
You
That's
can
true.
also understand French if you understand Spanish, but like, there's also a lot of words in French that I don't know, even though I understand Spanish.
Okay, so you want to try and roll organizer so you can talk to them in Spanish.
Nah, I'll just like kind of like scribble something on a napkin really quick, pass it over.
Do you want to attempt to text?
No,
Okay. What are you writing
he's
on?
keeping.
So you're trying.
Just
So
ask if
go ahead.
I'll ask if something seems a little bit strange here. They notice anything a bit off.
Okay. So that is going to go up against his perception. Just
I
so
don't
you
care.
know.
I don't care if he sees it or not.
Gotcha.
He's keeping secrets from us. I can keep secrets from him.
All right. Go ahead. Make me the roll.
What role? I'm just gonna write it on a piece of paper.
Oh,
I'm kidding.
yeah, that's right. Because you're not. Yeah, you're not covering it up.
I don't care. Make a -1. I'm still writing the piece of paper.
Bob, did you roll?
No, I was waiting. I didn't want to roll without. Yeah. Okay.
Hey, Sarge.
Yeah.
So do you remember that time I accidentally broke the library using ancient lesbian erotic poetry?
Yeah.
So Jenny's pretty good at hitting things from an unusual angle and having results.
Okay.
Would it be possible to add a +1 for trying to use knowledge of Cuban menus, food ordering etiquette in order to try to make a good impression on this guy?
No. Good try, but no. Do you have any one of
What
your
about the high
selfies
ground?
that you might be able to use for it, though?
That
To get-
is a
That
selfie.
was
That's
one of
why I
the
was asking to
selfies.
use it.
Oh shit. Okay.
That's how I was asking to use the selfie in that regard. Because I have two selfies. I have the high ground and I have ancient lesbian poetry. They're my big moods.
Yeah. You know what? I'll let you use that one.
Okay.
I'll let you get a +1 on that.
I thought you were getting it. You're gonna.
Sarge, coming over here. Why don't you use one of your snapshots or selfies?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Just
What were you saying, Bob?
I thought she was gonna start reciting sapphic erotic poetry.
No, I'm good not starting to do that. And may I also, on top of that, add a +2 for spending. Why do I have more fate points than my? I don't think I can have more fate points than my refresh. So I don't know
Yeah,
why
you
I would
can.
set it. Oh, okay.
Yep, you just have to spend them. If at any point we basically go to the next like game, quote unquote, it'll reset back to your refresh, whether
I
you're
don't know. I
above
think
it or
it should
below
have
it.
reset for the back refresh because
Yes.
last game was the end of that arc. That's why I was
Yep.
asked. That was why I was confused.
Sorry, that was my
Okay.
bad. Everybody's refresh goes back. Or, I'm sorry, everybody's fate points goes back to refresh at the start of this game.
Okay.
So if you've gained any, you go above what you have.
Yeah, that's why I was looking at my sheet and I was like, why is that? Can I pop a fate point also to do the we're right or it doesn't matter anymore? Like either we get this guy to give us the information we need, or we can't get this job done.
Yeah. It'll definitely make you a bit more analytical as to what you're trying to order. Okay,
I rolled mine Sarge, just not with the extra +1.
gotcha. So
Yeah,
you're at a +5 technically. Okay, so Brian, you definitely didn't make it.
Nope.
What how do you think he, I don't want to say messes that up, but kind of misses the point of this role?
Instead of, I got distracted when I was writing, and instead of asking if there's something seems a little bit weird, I was asking if we could go get ice cream afterwards.
I was actually thinking you could write it in Spanish on accident. Just because you're consistently thinking it now and write it down, it's like, oh shit, they can't read Spanish. Okay. Maddie, Jenny, with your socialite check, right?
Yeah, so I rolled base +1 plus the additional 1 from the selfie, and then the 2 from the fate would bring it up to a total of 4.
Okay. Giving it a lot of thought, a lot of deep, intense concentration, and a studious knowledge of both Cuban culture, Cuban cuisine, throwing in so many different aspects of
The meme with all like the trigonometry.
yeah, exactly. Like, everything
functions.
starts crossing, and you realize that the answer is the most obvious, and you just tell the guy to get him one of what he ordered. Probably the best way to go about it. And then for the influencer check, you guys knocked it out of the park. You succeeded with style, for sure.
Hey.
I'm sorry, just succeeded. My apologies.
Oh, damn.
Well, I was creating an aspect that they could possibly use.
Ooh, you're right. What was the aspect?
Ordering from the right menu, maybe. The not so secret menu.
The secret ingredient. Okay.
So if they wanted to use that, they could theoretically.
So, I think I finally hit bandwidth cap
Oh no.
in this place. I don't think you understand. Like, and I'm not talking like overall over the month. I'm talking about by second. I had your stream up. I had the Discord up. I had, iHunt up. I had Google Translate up. And I was installing a game, and they're on YouTube in the living room and Netflix.
And the internet just went, nope.
If I stop the download, it's fine, and the second I start the download again, it freezes Discord.
Beautiful.
Okay. So if you guys want to, you can use the secret ingredient and tag that as an aspect for an extra +2 to your roll. Bob, Vex.
was the intention for this one to create another aspect, or were we just trying to get information out of this guy?
I was creating an aspect, but it, could change if not.
Oh.
Yep, so if this creates an aspect, you do succeed on the roll, which means you make the aspect.
Okay, then we don't need to. I guess it's up to whoever wants to break point and actually talk to the dude.
So with this, Vex, actually.
Yeah.
Max stares at his tattoos for a couple minutes, like just looking them over, trying to piece together. They look intensely tribal, but you can't quite place where from. Like it's not a generic like muscle bro in the gym kind of tribal. Like it's very intricate and very patterned. Lots of circular iconography, lots of basically like stripes in it that have individual patterns. And the one on his face is basically a crescent moon with this, like, basically a fractal triangle pattern inside of it. And you realize that this is actually Maori tattoos. These are Maori tribal tattoos that are completely scattered across his body. And both you and actually Jack would know, actually all of you would know probably, once that's kind of revealed. There's a very prominent gang in West Las Vegas called the Sharktooth Clan that is made up primarily of Pacific Islanders. Clarence, you would definitely know this because you've heard things around the warehouse about these guys.
So is he South American or Pacific Islander?
He's okay. So he's supposed to be Pacific Islander. I was
Okay.
borrowing the accent because I can't quite pull off a Hawaiian accent, so I was borrowing it from a South African accent.
Wouldn't it be
Yeah,
New Zealand though? If he's
that's
Maori,
fair,
would
but,
it
like-
be a New Zealand accent?
Also, wouldn't we, like,
It's Australian. You could still.
did not have to worry about me speaking Spanish?
Yes, that's correct. That's why I was a little confused. I'm sorry.
You're fine.
It's more so that none of us know Spanish.
You guys have picked up on at least enough Spanish to kind of pick up on what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've
yeah.
watched 2 weeks worth of Spanish soap operas and I did not learn a fucking lick of Spanish.
That sounds like a you problem, Sarge.
I'm just saying, it's totally valid if somebody's just staring at the TV. You can make up your own fucking dialogue in your head.
Bold of you to assume Jenny was sober through any of that TV
Wait,
show
I mean,
watching.
you're assuming that I'm not using closed captioning.
Also true.
You're assuming. True,
Anyway,
yeah.
assumptions aside, he is a Pacific Islander. I apologize for the confusion. It was a bad attempt at an accent.
Are you looking for the product back? Are you looking for retribution? Are you just looking for answers?
Oh, we want
What do
this
you
gone.
want?
Yeah, whatever did it, we want it gone.
Okay.
We have a feeling that they'll be back for other warehouses, and we want to cut that off at the pass.
You want to tell us what the other warehouses are so that we can, I don't know, stick them out
No.
and try to. Great.
You want to
This
at
is
least, like, try to help us find it so you don't lose any more warehouses?
Look, man, this warehouse
Give us
has been
any
cleaned out,
information.
right? So it's not really good for you guys to continue using it for this particular product. So is there any harm in showing us a general area before you shop and abandon this place and move on to the next one?
All right, you make a point. He grabs the napkin that Brian was scribbling on. Clarence was scribbling on, and quick writes down an address and slides it back
Does he
over.
read that we go for ice cream after?
Yeah. He kind of looks up for a moment and then just goes back down to it like it's not his
Did you want
business.
ice cream too?
I mean, who doesn't want ice cream?
That's true.
Great.
With
so
that,
much.
though, Bob and Vex, you guys, what aspect would you like to put onto this scene? How do you want to try to realize this information into an aspect? And how are you going to approach him to break the tension?
That's a great question. If I can get some guidance through that.
Okay. Well, Max, you noticed the tattoos.
Yeah.
There is, having gone to Ren fairs, there's a lot of interest in cultures other than European, especially around that particular time period. So you personally would probably know what a few of those tattoos mean, and kind of a weird. Wait, did she drop?
I think
Did they drop?
we just lost Max.
Sounds like it.
Oh, that sucks.
Just tossing in my opinion on the whole aspect.
Tit for tat. That's a good one. I like that. Hello. So
My phone, everybody.
you would probably be able to start asking questions along those lines, like, "Hey, I see that this is here. Is this iconography relevant? Like, did you actually pass this trial?" Kind of thing.
Okay, yeah.
Bob, Jack would
Yes.
notice that he's not being particularly evasive because he doesn't want people to know anything. He's being evasive because he doesn't give a fuck. He might have been told to come here and do this. So if he doesn't have an answer, he's not going to say, "I don't know." It's kind of a pride thing there. He's just going to stonewall. Like, you don't need to know, kind of thing. So it may be, like, as you're kind of watching him and listening to him, it may just be the fact that he doesn't know the questions to the answers you're asking. The answers to the questions you're asking. So maybe playing into, like, oh man, orders. Am I right? People talking, and ordering you around and giving you boss talk, like, kind of commiserating with them might loosen them up a little bit.
Okay. No.
Okay,
I'm ready.
so like Max can probably point out one of the things and be like, "Oh, hey, that's for, I don't know, being indoctrinated into something or other," and Jack can probably bounce off of that with, "Oh yeah, working for other people, a bad time."
Brian suggested the aspect be called tit for tat.
I like it.
I like it too. I
Yes.
think it's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So why don't you guys go ahead and just like pitch me a line or two? What would your characters kind of approach this as?
I'll let Max lead.
Great, thanks. At this point, because this person has been stonewalling us at pretty much every juncture, except for after fighting for it, an address, they're just looking for some way to, like, to get something out of this stone wall, because it is just annoying at this point. So it's gonna be staring at the tattoos and going, "Oh, hey, look, that one there, isn't that the Mari tattoo for insert
Blah
gibberish
here. We'll say like
For
bravery, intense warrior.
bravery, yeah.
For killing an
Did-
iguana
Oh,
with
I
a
see you
stick.
have a wife. How's the kids at home?
And he
For
kind of
killing an iguana blindfolded with a stick.
No, not actually interested. Antagonizing. Did you actually earn that one, or is that one just for show?
looks down and looks back up at Max. Yeah, that one was earned. You don't get the tattoos without a shaman being able to put them on you.
A shaman, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's kind of cool, man.
Sarge, would we know if that's usual for Maori to receive from a shamanistic side, even if it is also more common in modern practices for just tattooers to do it for some people and for other things? Like, will we know if that's something that's like unusual or new of this particular gang, or
Go
can we roll
ahead
for it?
and roll me something. And then, Bob, keep going.
Okay. Man, that it's pretty wild. You guys, shamans are inking you. That's pretty cool. Do you are you in charge of the warehouse, or like do you work for other folk when you get the tattoos done, or just shooting small talk, kind of stumbling around it?
Yeah. He kind of looks over at you. Again, still disinterested, but like, I'll run some things.
But others, I get it, man. I when I have to work, I also deal with people on the daily, and it gets kind of annoying. And I can understand having to listen to a hierarchy boss sometimes. I can get that.
Yeah, being ordered around sometimes sucks, but you gotta suck it up.
Yeah, man, I'm like the new guy on the block with my community, and they give me a lot of crap sometimes. I totally can understand that.
Yeah, Maddie, go ahead. Um, he seems to look at you a little differently. It's like, all right, he's not warmed up to you, but it looks like the little bit of small talk has kind of loosened his shoulders a little bit. Hey, all right, well, I gave you the address. You know, essentially what happened from the post. Like, I mean, what more do you need from me, honestly?
So I just have a question for you, boss, and it's real quick.
Hmm.
You told me you guys were dealing with things that go bump in the night before, and you kind of dealt with it. And you don't have to tell me what you dealt with, but how did you deal with it? Did you contact hunters in the past, or did you guys in-house deal with it? Know what I mean?
We dealt with it in house. Our problems are
Did
our
you?
own. The only reason we're going with this one is because we can't seem to track it down.
Has it hit any other warehouses before?
No, not that I'm aware of.
So
Have you
now
guys,
there's
have you all, angered anything recently? Not people, but other things.
This actually is the first question to get him to crack a smile. And he goes, "Yeah, you could probably say that."
You want to tell me what the other things are from, one being bossed around guy to another?
No, not necessarily. That's high
No,
level stuff. I
that's
don't worry about it.
that's fair, man. You don't want to get your hands dirty with that. It sounds messy.
Yep.
You
No.
think these things are connected?
He kind of leans forward, places his elbows on the table, and looks at you, and he goes, "We're a gang. We upset a lot of people for a lot of reasons."
I mean,
For
fair.
what it's worth, boss. For what it's worth, boss. I'm not looking to ask you about upsetting people. I'm asking you if you guys are upsetting things.
Roll me a cult, actually, Bob. Anybody who has it.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll it for me.
So I know if it's also for the tattoo thing, I got a 3 for whenever.
Okay. And that is to determine if it has to be a shaman to give that, or if it can be just a modern tattoo.
Is it normal for this gang to or is it normal specifically for these guys to go to a shaman? Just because out of character knowledge, I know that that's not, for one thing, they're not always called a shaman, and in modern practices, a lot of people will just go to straight, like, it's still someone in the community. It's not like a random Joe Schmo,
Right. No,
Out of
from what I understand, I know it is from somebody of respect in their community. Like, somebody has to basically take care of the tattoos and be able to give them. In this particular case, so your role lets you know, yes, anybody can technically get it. In this particular case with the Shark Tooth clan, they have to earn it, and they earn it from who they call the shaman.
Okay, so they call it. So it's not. It might just be actually just a dude that has a tattoo gun. It's not like they're dabbling and they've got a new cult leader. With,
No, the leader of the Shark Tooth clan is the shaman. That's his name.
Okay, so that's a gang title, not an actual like religious.
As far as you can tell, there hasn't been, like, considering how illegal these guys are and how they're kind
Yeah,
of
it's not like a
talked about in
Wikipedia
shadows.
page.
Yeah, like, as far as you can tell, this is a guy of respect. You're not sure of any type of hierarchy on the inside, though.
Yeah.
And this could be religious, for all you know. Like,
Well,
gangs
it's
do
sort
weird
of like-
things.
Yeah, I mean, Maori tattoos have a lot of significance and are gotten. They have some religious significance and cultural significance and heritage and stuff like that. It's just the term shaman was weird.
Yep.
And that's why I piqued Jenny and my own interest, because I'm like,
Yeah, I tried to do some research into this, so it is essentially from an out of character standpoint. That way, nobody gets upset that I might be appropriating culture. I'm not trying to.
Mm.
This essentially is a perversion of Maori culture, placed inside of the
Gang
isolated,
bubble.
yeah, a gang bubble. So it's just like how like cults can twist Catholic or Christian teachings, and it becomes something completely different, even though it has the same trappings. That's essentially the same thing that's happening here, but it's with Maori culture and magic.
Mhm.
That being said, with the occultist chicks, Bob, you know that there have been some whispers about the Sharktooth clan, specifically in magical circles. You've overheard a conversation or two, basically of fellow sorcerers who need things that you can't really get on the up and up. And they mention, usually it's some sort of, again, Pacific Islander style name like Kai or Lei or something like that. And they only really mention the clan every once in a while, but it is always in reference to a rare item that you can't really find elsewhere. So these guys are dealing in magic, essentially.
Okay.
So with that information, he kind of looks at you guys. He's like, "All right, you got pretty much everything you need. What are you still doing here?"
Can I ask you one more question?
Finishing
there,
up my
boss?
Cuban.
Yeah, yeah, fucking. Oh God, I was gonna say Mr. Clean, but that's not what I was looking for. Paul Bunyan. That's it. All right, Paul Bunyan, spit it out. Because you're still wearing that massive
Okay.
plaid get up, right?
Yes. All right. Just out of curiosity, you're, the rest of you guys know that we're kind of gonna be around, right? Like this, it's kind of going through the lines that we're, not here threatening y'all. We're here, working for y'all.
Oh yeah,
Know what I mean?
they know there's a contract out. Whether or not they give a shit, something completely different.
Oh,
Is there any sort of passage to make sure we don't get shot in a back alleyway? Because I don't think your higher up want to have to put that bid out. Because if that job pops back on iHunt, it's gonna get more expensive. People aren't gonna be bidding on it as much.
We'll take care of that when it happens.
All right.
It's
Yeah,
kind of
that's
concerning
good.
that he says when and not if.
real quick, boss. Did you put out the hunt, or did somebody else put out the hunt?
Oh no, I don't deal with any of that. I just go where I'm told.
All right.
Oh, are we allowed to know who put the hunt out?
We did. Seems to be an organizational thing.
Oh, okay,
Or
no
you can
problem,
tell.
no problem. Yeah, no, that's completely understandable. Appreciate you.
Okay. He pulls the tray of black beans and rice back over to him and starts eating again. Takes a couple bites, looks back up. What? Is this a show? Am I getting tips for this?
Jenny's like half full. Like she's already stuffed like 90% of the beans left. Just like, huh? I'm finishing my food. Finishes up and stands up.
Is there anything else
You
that
have
you guys want to try before you leave? And this is not a GM suggestion that you do. I just want to make sure you guys, as rough as this was, got kind of what you needed, or at least know where to go from here.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stare at the guy and I'm just gonna go. If we go poking around this warehouse, are we gonna face? Are your people gonna know we're gonna be around there and not to?
Oh, none of our people are there. It's
Huh?
it's gone at this point. So
All right, that works. Cool. Anybody else we should watch out for that might be starting to poke around there now that you guys have pulled out?
West Las Vegas is a rough place. especially for people like. And he takes a moment to look all of you kind of up and down, making
So
very
they're pale
obvious.
enough that if they need to surrender to the enemy, they can just flash them.
Yeah, that's one way to put it for sure.
I'm translucent enough that you won't be able to tell if I'm dead because I'll look the same as my ghost. I mean, I'm that pale. Well,
Oh, we'll find ways to make that work too.
all right. Clarence, do you still want to get ice cream?
Is that even a question?
All
There is actually
cream.
an ice cream place like not a couple blocks over. It's back on Spring Valley.
Mhm.
So,
Is it on the
so-
way to the warehouse?
The warehouse is actually on the north side of West. He said it was in.
West Las Vegas.
He actually said North Las Vegas. At least I'm pretty sure I did.
You definitely said West.
No, you said West Las Vegas is a rough place.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. My bad then. It
That's
is
fine, I
in
can go
North New Vegas. Yep. So up in this area. Actually, it's fairly. It's not so far off the highway from where you picked up Julio.
Great.
So right around this area, under the bridge.
Great. Says we were hopping back in the Millennium Falcon.
Millennium. Oh, as
It
an
was
aside-
voted on.
Yes, no, I saw, and I'm totally okay with it. Just for reference from now on, I don't actually have the Discord up on stream, so if you guys make a suggestion or something, nobody can see it. I usually keep up notes over my Discord. So if you want to, and I would appreciate this, is if you guys had any like in character stuff, or if you have anything that you're saying out of character, just type out what you want to say inside of the Roll20 chat.
Gotcha.
But how are we supposed to trash talk the audience in private if we do that?
Well, I mean, you can still have the Discord up to trash talk people watching, but if it's something that is being shared amongst the group or being whispered or emoted, I would appreciate it being inside of the this chat. That way I
So-
can catch it.
We're hopping to the Millennium Falcon.
Okay.
Now look at these. The other
For
three.
the audience at home,
Why do I
we've
feel
decided
like
to name
we're gonna
our
get
car
killed?
the Millennium Falcon.
Why do I feel like we're gonna get killed?
Yeah. I guess we can get ice cream first.
Can we get ice
we
cream
make it
before the
safely?
death?
Do we make it to the truck safely?
Yeah. No, you guys parked right outside. There's
They're not
nobody
gonna
like
kill us
standing on the
before
street
the job
corner.
is done.
And honestly, like from a gang etiquette standpoint, if anybody has watched like Gangland or anything like that, if you're doing business on behalf of the gang, it looks terrible if you get killed. Unless you've discovered something or they need to keep you quiet for some reason, anything like that. But if you're just going about your business and they fucking pop one in you, then nobody will want to work with them. And you have to rely on people to bring in your product. You have to rely on people to make it. And if none of them can trust you to keep their people alive in the time that you're doing business, then nobody's going to want to deal with you and you're going to dry up. So there's a relative amount of safety. It's just whether or not any particular individual member is feeling spicy that day. We'll put it that way.
And if they know we're working for the gang.
Yep. So, it is 10:30. We are kind of moving into a new section of the plot. We can continue if you guys want to, but I'm thinking around 11 o'clock stop. So if you want to kind of wait for the new scene until 2 weeks from now, we can. If you want to continue moving, we can as well.
I'm good waiting 2 weeks if everyone else is. I don't want to like cut in the middle.
Yeah.
I don't know. It depends, Sarge. How many more tree houses you got to cut down?
Not that many. Now, building
but
them's a different
non-zero
story.
number.
It's a non-zero but low number. Okay, cool. So we'll call it here. You guys have hopped into it. Clarence looks over at everybody as he's driving, or before he takes off. It's like, you guys feel like we're gonna die, and then cut to credits.
Great. Oof.
Did I just hear a moo noise?
Okay, so that's actually almost 2.5 hours. Cool. Fantastic. Well, I had an absolute blast. This was a lot of fun considering what I actually had planned and what happened. we're two non-alike items, but still worked out
See,
pretty well. I think.
different esto.
That's, god damn it, Brian. That completely took me by surprise, and it was such a wonderful addition to this. So I do have a few questions real quick, because I know this particular group, this is our second kind of introduction mission. I tried playing with a few different things, and I want to know what you guys thought about the session overall. Was there any particular sticking point? Was there something that wasn't exactly clear? Did you feel like you could ask questions and at least get an explanation for the answer, even if you didn't get one?
I thought it was really going well, and I want to know what's going on in that fucking theater. You can't dangle weird things in front of my face, Serge, and not have me bite into that fish hook with regrettable life choices.
I thought it was really funny that you gave me the pick up a friend for a drug deal because you knew damn well that there's no way that Clarence would have ever picked up on that.
Yep. No, I was what I was expecting personally in the back of my mind was that you, as an empathetic creature, he would pick up on the tension that Julio had. And I can tell you now, it wasn't technically a drug deal. But
He was a drug mule.
maybe. But yeah, no, I expected at least a little bit more conversation, and it's okay that it didn't happen, because again, as you can tell, I had other plans besides just this.
See, the thing is Clarence is an empath, but Clarence is also trying to learn Spanish. And so currently, all I can think about is Spanish. Even when I dropped him off at the house, I opened up the Spanish book.
Yeah.
Spanish.
Did you enjoy that particular aside, even though nothing technically happened?
I thought it was abso-fucking-lutely hilarious. Like, Clarence sitting in like the worst part of town just reading a Spanish book. People are like looking in, they're like, the fuck is this gringo doing? And it's like Merriam-Webster's English to Spanish dictionary.
It's probably really good it wasn't Jenny doing that drop off, because I would have adopted that NPC. That would have been my new son.
Vex, what about you? Did you particularly enjoy the session?
Yeah, I personally feel like I didn't know how to interact in the restaurant very well, but that was just Vex not knowing forgetting how to roleplay. I really enjoyed all of us getting the little snippets at the beginning. That was real fun. I also just really like playing with NPCs like that. Brings me lots of joy.
Mm-hmm.
Someday I want to go back to that coffee house with the three people who speak at once.
It'll happen. Don't worry. It's coming.
Nothing else that can make coffee strong enough for Jenny.
It's been like 2 episodes. Chill.
No, I will not chill. Give them back.
To make good coffee, we have to go back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's required. I really enjoy also getting to see us in the downtime and having a life outside of that. Vex is always surprised when that kind of stuff comes up, because a lot of my other DMs don't we're in a fantasy land, we're in the middle of a journey or whatever, so there's not a whole lot of time for the actual downtime stuff, so starting out with that brings me lots of joy. I also realized that I didn't tell you that I had a headcanon that Max was assigned male at birth, not assigned female at birth.
Oh, my apologies on that one. Oh man, okay.
No, you're good.
We can definitely retcon that.
Communicate that. Yeah. So,
okay. Signed male at birth, non-binary. Got it. Cool.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, we can roll with that. You know what? It was the picture that got me.
Yeah, because that singer is specifically assigned female at birth. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. So that will be
Here to
changed
be as
slash
confusing as
retcon.
possible.
There's a terrifying noise going on from the rest of my house.
Oh no.
I mean, my brother and my niece are watching a horror movie, I guess. It's just,
Got
Good
it.
time for it.
I'm just hearing metal scraping.
Bob, did you enjoy today's session?
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Anything in particular?
The broom closet. Oh, the broom closet talk was a bit ominous. Ominous.
Mm-hmm.
Anemone.
Anonymous.
Yes.
Anemone.
very ominous.
Enemy spotted.
Okay. So in specific with the interaction with did he introduce himself? I don't think he did. His name's Kai.
No.
The interaction with Kai in the restaurant.
Thank you. I'm gonna add that to the notes.
Yes, because I mean nobody asked and he didn't say anything, so it's
Yeah,
kind of in
Kai.
character just
He
to
didn't-
keep going.
He hasn't been typed in.
Did
His
you mean
name
the
is
brick wall?
Yeah.
Like Cobra Kai.
Yes. Yes.
That takes place in Hawaii.
Yes.
How on the nose are you gonna get?
It's a common Hawaiian name. What do you want from me? It's like calling a white guy Smith. It's not racist. It's a fact.
I'm not saying it's racist. I'm saying you just took it from
Isn't he Maori
fucking
though? Is
Karate
he from
Kid.
Hawaii or is he from New Zealand?
Okay, so like I said, the cult itself is a Pacific. The gang, sorry, is a Pacific Islander gang. They're borrowing
real
Maori
band.
culture and traditions. So he himself is Pacific Islander, and most of the people in the game are gang are Pacific Islander as well.
But like Maori is Pacific Island, but like also
Oceania.
Yeah, yep. It's closer to Australia and definitely on New Zealand, but
I'm just
Yeah.
teasing you, Sarge.
Mm.
'Cause I can.
thank you. So was that interaction okay? I was trying to roleplay a bit different of a character than you guys are used to, in that he's not really willing to share information. I think you guys did okay. I think that the roles that you made were intuitive, and I'm more concerned that I might have stonewalled too hard to the point where you guys didn't understand where to go from there or couldn't come up with something.
I just don't think. Oh, go on.
No, you go.
Oh, I think for an interaction like that, at least for Jack, I don't think Jack would have been comfortable in the situation in general. Clearly, there's a lot of tension there, and I don't think a wisecracking, magic guy is, gonna get away with talking like he normally would. So that's why I kind of stuttered and acted a bit like beating around the bush.
Okay.
Because this guy clearly probably would have broke Jack's jaw if he would have cracked the joke.
Oof.
So
I like that, actually. That's some good role playing in there. I didn't think it was
so
you
that was
directly.
why I.
Go ahead.
So that was where I was going with. So I kind of played it dumb because Jack clearly was out of his element here.
Okay.
how dare you act like me?
I had ideas for stuff. I just didn't want to like overtalk or overshadow anybody. I think Jenny was more interested in the food than anything.
Oh,
but
this
also
guy's being a
because
dick. I'm just gonna eat.
Well, yeah, it's partially that, and it's also just kind of like that. Like I know your type kind of thing, where because of Jenny's kind of not so nice upbringing, she's more familiar with these kind of guys that are all bravado and like it's just another gang. I think the only thing she was really interested in was the tattooing, and that's just because I feel like she's got some interest in tattoos or knows some of the anthropological history of them, is a nerd for tattoos, and so she's just kind of like huffing about like, you're not supposed to get a warrior tattoo there. That's supposed to be where you put your wife down. Don't put a tattoo there if you're not married.
Yeah.
You're making me think you're not single. More so that she's just kind of like sort of going back and forth between like, you're just another poser asshole wannabe who wants to feel like, so she was just kind of bristling at that.
Okay.
But I also didn't want to like over talk everybody, so I was kind of silent.
Gotcha.
on that one. But I thought it went really well because the stonewalling is more interesting because with this system, fights aren't really long, so some of those fights have to be verbal. A verbal fight is just as valid as a monster fight.
Yeah,
Going in
I
the
am
face of person.
generally
together.
speaking, gonna be fairly quiet during stuff like this because I don't have much in the way of like talking to people and
True.
getting information out of them.
I think your social worker statistic can help out in a lot of situations.
Yeah, but I feel
that
like
being
it's
said-
also like one of those things where I literally just like that's the only thing I can use, so I always use it.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean,
you
Bob
can also,
had
like-
the same concern with using his demon too much, so I totally get trying to come up with something else or playing into the fact that he wouldn't necessarily be comfortable in that situation either.
You could also bounce off of us because sometimes empathizing or having insider, like trying to roll to see if I know the right menu item to impress somebody. You can hit things from how to best present yourself and knowledge of something that you feel is a shared knowledge base, whether it's using something like professional farmer to make yourself look more, using farm knowledge to show that we really have no idea about these celery slickers, or empathizing with a kid using art and stuff like that. And if you're not really sure how to do that, you also can like.
I was
work with-
also like I was gonna talk to him with my hands. It's gonna be fun.
Okay, but punch it, but that's, I guess that is like a way.
I love
But
it.
you could also use fighter to see if you could talk with them of like recognize like a boxer's break and ask him questions about like
Oh, I didn't think
people like
about that.
opening up. You could use
It's like
fighter
an
and say, you know, I
Expendables of the
recognize that he's
cauliflower
broken his
ear.
nose
Yeah.
a couple times.
Don't
and he's
mention
got a
the ear.
boxer
Don't fucking
fracture.
mention the ear ever.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you know, stuff like that. You can talk to somebody and empathize them at their level with what their interests are. If you have a skill base that you could see if they have the shared interest, and then use verbally, like your knowledge of fighting could be used for that. Or even just using fighter to know how to stand as intimidatingly as possible to make it show that we're not greenhorns. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Why would
And
I
it-
need to stand intimidatingly when I could throw him across the room?
That is intimidating. But with a broken jaw, it's hard to give us information.
Not really. You can reset it. Those
Ooh.
jaws aren't actually broken; they're just dislocated. It's fine.
But yeah, so Maddie does bring up a good point though. If anybody's running into a particular struggle on how to apply their skills, or if a stunt may work in this particular way, you guys can ask each other too. I know all of you have had really good ideas for other parts of characters' interactions, so feel free to tap your allies per se. A big part that I wanted to try to reinforce this time around was again the creation of aspects in order to try to help investigative roles, because that is going to be a big part of next session, is basically stacking off of each other's discoveries in order to try to find the bigger picture. And it doesn't necessarily have to be this is how I affect the scene. It can be Clarence is projecting a sense of confidence, you know, or Bob is, I'm sorry, Jack has, keeping things light, keeping the mood light to make sure that nobody's getting overly stressed. That kind of stuff can apply to aspects on the scene as well. Atmosphere, feeling, emotion, all of that can play a role in whatever scene you guys are taking part in. So just keep that in the back of your minds as we go into the next session. But other than that, Vex, did you put in on that part of the scene?
Oh, I was just gonna say that, like, I was feeling a little lost, but, like, also recognized that, like, as soon as Bob articulated the, like, please help, that, like, help was given. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Vex needs to get better at asking for help.
Yeah.
Is, I think, the answer to that one.
We have to. I can't sit straight because I'm not straight, buddies.
Yeah, and I'm of the inclination as a GM that I'm not going to withhold help from you guys if you're struggling. If I haven't made something clear, or the scene's not clear, or you guys aren't sure what kind of steps to take, by all means, please ask. I don't want this to be a struggling style of game where it's me against you. You know, we're trying to tell a good story, so that's what I want to help do. And sometimes I fuck up too. Like, there's been plenty of times so far where it's just been either unclear or I stumbled or, something got messed up, like accents. As if you guys ever need clarification on anything, please, I'm totally okay with being asked, hey, is this the way this is? Or did I misunderstand something? And I will try and clear it as best as I can.
Geography is hard.
Yeah,
Accents are also hard.
Accents are very difficult. I was trying.
Strange.
Yeah, I was trying really hard to listen to like Hawaiian accents before the game, and it just for some reason it wasn't sticking. I kept rolling back to like Rocket Power, and fucking Tito from Rocket Power. Eh, but and I'm like, that's so stereotypical. I don't want to do this. Well, it's also Hawaiian too. Like, it's more like Brooder. But yeah, anyway. So instead I decided to roll with South African, and that just ended up fucking everything up. But yeah, okay. So let's do a quick good thing, bad thing of the session, and we will call it a night after that. And we'll go from the bottom up this time. So Vex.
Good thing. I continue to adore family time with Telemundo. It makes me so happy. Bad thing, I need to work on asking for help, which is not just in this game, that's just in my regular life too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's understandable. But again, this is a fun pastime. If you're not quite sure where to go, it's okay to sit back and be like, listen, I'm not familiar enough with the scenario, or I don't have enough information. Can you fill in some spots? And everybody will do the best they can. Maddie.
Good thing. Telemundo. Family time. That was really memorable and kind of fun. And I which is to say, simplifying it, group dynamics. I like that I like the roommate group dynamic where it's like we're kind of playing off of each other, where one person will be like, oh, I'm doing this, and everyone's like, I'm going to either watch this shit show or I'm going to hold your beer for you. I love our ride or die. We're less ride or die and more hold my beer, but I like it. And, I really enjoy that. Bad thing, I was a little out of it for the session, but that's just because I had a really rough doctor's appointment today, so I was kind of like here and gone.
Mm-hmm.
And also I just spilled a bit of my sparkling red grape juice on my shirt, so I'm going to have to really quickly run in the back and try to like prevent that from staining my flannel.
Oh.
So yeah, that's my good thing, bad thing.
Okay. I'm also greatly enjoying the group dynamic, and I'm planning on some interesting things for that here soon.
Yay,
Brian.
heard us.
Me gusta hablar español.
You can tell.
But for real,
Go ahead.
I enjoyed the whole Telemundo thing. I liked being able to throw Spanish in there. I think the only downside that I had today is that, one, my internet was being weird for some reason. It's not like I was just smashing it with like 2 or 3 gigs at a time. But like, I don't know, I've just been like really tired today. I stayed up way too late last night, and then I've been cleaning all day, so.
Gotcha. So a little out of it as well.
Yeah, very
Okay.
much so.
Got it. Bob?
I'm gonna stick with the Telemundo, follow down the line, and answer the same.
Unanimous decisions.
I feel pretty proud about that one, let's be real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was.
I
that
like
was
that
a
no
lot
one
of
got
fun.
weirded out by me being like, I claim the couch as my kingdom.
As she sinks to here on her
I
fucking
don't think-
webcam.
I don't think you understand, like, I always, just about always sit in the middle of a couch at a party, and there will always be like 3 people draped over me at some point. It's like, that's
Yep.
just my life.
Yep. Continue, Bob.
And I got a good laugh out of having coasters thrown at me while I'm trying to figure out my own card that I pulled. That had me internally laughing quite a bit. I just didn't want to interrupt what I was doing. Bad thing. I am really uncomfortable tonight, like physically, and I don't know why. So maybe you guys have seen me on the webcam, like moving around a lot.
Yeah.
It's driving me nuts, and I can explain it as simple as it's cold enough to turn the heat on, and I am a polar bear. So when the heat gets turned on, I have to like do whatever I can to try to stay cool because it drives me nuts to be overheated.
Yep.
So I think that's the problem tonight.
Okay.
Pseudo B. Tonight was my first night having popcorn in several months, and I was very excited to eat it. And I got a kernel stuck in my teeth, and I haven't had a kernel stuck in a long time. So I'm sitting here midstream, just like running my tongue along like the top two of my teeth, trying to get the fucking kernel out. And during break, I'm like, all right, let me run bio and go try to get a toothbrush and try to get this fucker out, and it wouldn't come out.
Oh no.
Oh.
It'll be fine. I'll get back to it, but I didn't want to keep you guys waiting during ad break when I had to come back. And
Gotcha.
side note, if we're still streaming Duluth, I wasn't joking.
It's
Yeah,
fine.
no,
We
by
were
all-
just talking about Scott paper towels.
Make sure to buy Johnson & Johnson dental floss.
Casper mattresses.
Stanley
Uh,
Steamers
remember,
get
folks,
your
when-
carpet cleaner.
I will. I'll be posting
You know-
this on YouTube. If you guys want to put that on Twitter, that link and at Duluth, I wouldn't be mad.
And remember, folks, what the iHunters do when we're not in downtime and we're having to check our phone back and forth, we like to play Raid Shadow Legends.
Link below the new game from.
Link below.
I personally
below.
enjoy AFK Arena.
I'm
I
just looking forward to
personally
all
like to play
the
the,
growing list of places we can never be sponsored by, even if we were like to suddenly become as big as Critical Role.
Yeah, right.
Like,
Oh my god, that'd be
I
fucking
personally
great.
enjoy playing the Night Elf, whose armor is literally just a piece of chainmail over the breasts. And that's about it.
And
That's
now-
my personal favorite.
Yep.
So
I don't know about you
follow
guys.
me and follow the iHunters.
I don't know about you guys, but in order to help, improve my skills as a GM, I like to use Skillshare, which has a myriad of classes.
laugh when I think about a Skillshare ad for D&D, like how to be a better dungeon master on Skillshare.
Dude, I'd honestly do that in a heartbeat. I would.
When Clarence was building his website, he used Squarespace.
All right,
And,
so
some
my,
of these guys
go ahead,
gotta use NordVPN.
NordVPN. Yep.
Don't forget about Blue Apron for whenever you don't feel like cooking.
And if you want to put Telemundo on and also try to interpret Spanish, but you don't feel like cooking that night, do Blue Apron. So
You can
my
even get tacos.
my good thing is that I'm rapidly starting to realize how good you guys are at improv with each other. The fact that everybody is so keen on rolling off of each other is really refreshing. I've been at tables where somebody will say something and it'll just get shut down, or people won't offer to roll with it or try and develop it all. Like, I was one of my D&D games. I had somebody who was really into role playing, trying to do the back end of it. Hey, here's what I do in my downtime, and I have all of this information, and everybody would just fucking stone. Okay, I roll this, and that was it. And it really kept them from like enjoying the game. So the fact that you guys sync so well with each other in that regard and are so eager to make those moments, it's really refreshing and a lot of fun. It makes me look forward to this game. Downside of today's game, I think I felt a little bad about the Kai interaction, but at the same point, this is also me honing in a bit more role playing. I know that we don't roll a lot of dice very frequently, and honestly, I'm kind of okay with that. I really only like chucking dice when there's something on the line. If you guys are competent in what you do, then I don't mind just saying it works that way. So being able to sit down with Kai and play a bit more of a bullheaded character and provide you guys some social resistance instead of how we've been doing, where everybody just gives you information or you manage to find it relatively easily, I think was a refreshing challenge. And I didn't do it perfectly, but I'm also not demanding perfection. So I'm trying
You
to
did
be.
great.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Now, just so you guys know, you can, if there's something that bothered you about any interactions, you can use that as your bad thing. I don't want anybody to feel like you have to consistently say things that were wrong with you during the session. If there was something legitimately off or that you felt was not exactly encouraging you to have a good time, feel free to go ahead and say it. I won't get offended at anything like that. Excuse me. Sorry.
Don't die.
Oh, that was nasty. Oh,
Oh.
I better drink some of this liquid death water to watch that.
Yep, yep.
Okay, so next time I actually most likely have a surprise. Maddie, you're probably going to freak out over this because I know for a fact you have seen it before. Vex, I think you might have. Brian and Bob, you guys are probably going to be surprised. But we'll handle that when it comes.
Oh, okay. That's very ominous.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Trying to remember. Like, there's a lot of stuff.
I'm
Oh.
just like, what is the overlap between our knowledge base?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm trying to like overlap between you and I, and I'm like, we've never played.
And
It's
the
not.
things that Sarge knows about both of us.
That's the big one.
True.
Did
All
you
right.
say that I would know something about
Is
it?
it gay?
Bob, no, you,
Are we
Bob,
talking
you
about
and you and Brian will.
Bowie?
You
Is
might.
he feeling heroin?
Undead David Bowie. It's zombie Bowie.
Yes, you guessed it. You got me.
It's Warren Zevon. What are
No,
you talking
it's
about?
David
Werewolves
Bowie.
of London.
It's Undead David Bowie, flanked by a legion of Sisters of Eternal Indulgence drag queen
It's
nuns.
actually Roland the Headless Thompson Gunner.
Holy crap! I may not have. I probably shouldn't have said anything. All right, everybody, say goodnight to stream.
Night,
Good night to stream.
Good night, guys. Thanks for tuning in.